Welcome to Penny for a Tale, and boy, do we have a tale for you. I'm gonna stop that. So my name is Mitchell, and this is Penny for a Tale. You can check us out at pennyforatale.com. You can also check out our Facebook, our Twitter, our Twitch. You're here, as well as our Instagram. All this stuff and more you can find out on Penny for a Tale. We are a TTRPG streaming and podcast that focuses on the new, the interesting, and the dramatic. But enough gilding the lily. Let's hop off to our other folks. Spence, why don't you give us a little introduction?
Hello, I'm Spence. I am a frequent contributor on this channel as a player and as a storyteller. You can see me next on Tuesday running Hot Guys Making Out. And I also do other podcasts and I edit audiobooks, and it's good times.
All right. Daniel, why don't you go ahead?
So I'm Daniel, and this is actually my second go through with a game on Penny for a Tale. Hopefully soon I'll be running my own games and participating more often.
I would love to see that. Just sign the contract, dot with blood. And Alex.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex Roth. I am returning again to Penny for a Tale and Pathfinder. You can find me here on this channel for the most part. I play in cults. I cry in cults. I cry after cults. No. And Age Pass, or and Pathfinder, and possibly Age Pass. We don't know.
Oh wait, are you doing anything tomorrow? What? Huh?
I don't know. But yeah, so. Continue to play. Look out for my Star Wars game at the end of the month. Hopefully, maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. And Mr. Smith.
Hello, I am Mr. Smith. You can find my cybersecurity and gaming musings at IamMrSmith.com. Back for another round or episode of Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
All right, and for the last one, Ian. Our fearless leader.
Hi, I'm Ian. I'm just the game master for this game, and you can also see me doing Cult every other Monday here on this channel. Today we're going to be using Fantasy Grounds, if you've ever heard of it, which I'm sure you have if you're interested in tabletop RPGs, because it's super great, guys. I can't, like, the more I prep using it, the more I realize that it's probably the most versatile and high-powered virtual tabletop that you can use on your PC. And actually, we're sponsored by Smiteworks, who makes Fantasy Grounds. So if you're interested, Fantasy Grounds on fantasygrounds.com. Go ahead and download the client. It's free to try. They support Pathfinder, D&D, Starfinder, Call of Cthulhu, and like dozens of others. Also want to give a shout out to the Only Sheet. They're using, if you can see Mr. Smith, he's using the Only Sheet right now. It automates a lot of stuff, makes the experience super smooth, and overall it kind of helped us build our party and figure out where we wanted to go ahead of this stream. So that's what I got. All right, so where we left off, we had been investigating a few things. If you guys remember, Mysterious Visitor brought a valuable book. People were talking about it. That Mysterious Visitor seems to have an odd resemblance to the founder of the town that we opened on. And as all of these adventurers found their way to the Call for Heroes here in Breachill, which occurs in the beginning or near the beginning of every month, something strange happened. See, now a goblin, one of the speakers on the council, was giving a speech, basically a cry for help, asking any adventurers to investigate a citadel. There had been fire. She thought maybe it was a distress call, maybe it was something more ominous. But before she could finish, it seems that the town hall itself is under attack. Where we left off, what looked to be some sort of magical projectile in a moving arc, so sort of like a grenade or some sort. It bursted open the southern door and forked out into a series of fireballs, some of which made an impact, like shrapnel, and some actually caught a bit of this town hall aflame. So we're starting off. I have a fresh initiative for everybody. I don't want to give you guys too much time to prepare what you want to do here because time is of the essence. So we're going to start. If anybody wants to make any free action checks or any of those like instantaneous actions before we start with this combat, you can. Otherwise, Rune, you're first on initiative.
Yeah, can I take someone's soul while I'm? Because people died, right?
You already took the soul.
Can I do a reflexive perception check to see if like anybody immediately like went down from the
Yes.
blast?
Absolutely. And Rune, if you can see, I think I should have shared that map. Everyone should be able to see it now. It's your turn.
All right, so just know that a hole's been blasted in the back of the room.
Yeah, that southern door, which is actually it's actually a double door. Just they're smaller. One of them popped open, and it sort of just looked like an alchemist bomb, but more magical. It was just a spell with some sort of gravity arc. So it wasn't like a beam or a laser. It was kind of arcing over, and then it forked out, sort of like a firework, except designed for what looks to be arson, actually.
Bloody brilliant. All right. Rune is actually just going to move right now to get more centralized to the situation.
Yep.
It is 25.
And Sailix, you see somebody. Yeah, I mean, a few people have fallen down. You can't tell if they're conscious and down, unconscious and down, or dead. But this was really a lot going on in a short period of time. Your ears are still ringing. Most of you probably, unless you had maybe like a chance to cover them. One person you do recognize, though. Actually, you'll probably recognize half the people here because you're on City Watch. But Shavi has fallen unconscious. The impact threw her into the bench in front of her. This room, in addition to all of you and the counselors, there's about 40 other people here.
All right, good to know.
Yes. So Rune made his movement and has passed.
One final comment. Rune will send Corvid out one of the open windows or doors to get a bit of an aerial view and see what's going on from the outside.
All right, excellent. Now it is the director's turn.
Oh God. I am going to. Let's see. I took some damage, didn't I? I think I did. I am marked as that. I am marked with wounds. So
yes, you are. Yeah, you're wounded from
and
the
I think
attack.
the last time I remember I failed my reflex
Yep.
save. So I am going to move over. So the things behind me, are these like would I have any trouble getting over like this
So you won't, but
Okay.
because there's about 40 other people in here, so to account for people, the movement of people on the floor, stuff being scattered, and the benches, we're going to treat everything as difficult terrain except for the walkway in the middle and the stage.
Okay. Let's see. But I do not see any sort, I guess if I did a perception check, I'm going to move this way. I think that was 1, 2, 3. There.
Excellent. And now you'll notice through one of one of the chunks that landed in the center cracks open, and then through fire, this elemental appears, and you might see that now. Yes. Just rising forth.
right in front of me. This is great. This is fine.
Yes.
This is excellent.
I feel uncomfortably close.
I am uncomfortably close. Singeing me. This is fine now.
This is fine.
This is fine. Okay,
The
so
house is burning down around us. Everything's fine.
everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
So this elemental appeared as I was moving.
Yes.
Okay. Do I have any time? Is that the? I've only done my move action.
So you are there when you realize, and you can do whatever you would like.
Oh God. Okay. I'm gonna try and daze it.
Okay.
All right. Let's see.
That. Yep. All right. And Moth,
Yes.
what say you?
So Moth, as he's finishing up his meal, basically you see like little red spores be released from his body, and it shows several spirits coming up from like dead people, and he throws up a vine, and it wraps around one of the spirits that looks like they're going to heaven, and I yank it back down, and my jaw unhinges as I slowly suck and eat the soul, and several like of the mushrooms bloom from my body. If anyone's curious, that is Death's Call, as I use a dead person's spirit to invigorate me. And then I look at this fire elemental and I say, "A new challenger has approached." And I'm gonna throw a scythe at it using Divine Lance. Pew pew.
You're horrifying.
Ooh.
Did I win?
Nope.
Oh no. Oh no.
Actually,
It's a
Oh
one.
no! He wasn't ready.
Oh no, my scythe.
wasn't. Let's see.
Just like send my scythe propelling into someone's face. Like, oops.
Yeah, that is a miss. And Monica Freerunner. You're in the back here, and now
Yeah.
for context, because you can sort of see everything, just kind of a crowd of people. In front of you and to the, per the map, we'll just call it to the east, you notice that fire stuck, and it is starting to spread.
Okay. Does anybody around me have a cloak on?
Yes, somebody is wearing one, but she's struggling to get back up. There's actually a few people in your row trying to escape.
I am going to go to the nearest person, the person that has the cloak, and say, "I need this to put out the fire," and just kind of yank it off her.
All right, so that's
Just leave her.
what kind of? You want to make a check for that?
Sure, why not? Maybe a
Diplomacy, intimidate,
uh,
sleight of hand. It could just be like, and suddenly she.
I
What do you make?
I can do intimidate. She's probably a little
All right.
scared.
Okay.
So 16.
Yeah, it's a pass.
Great. So I obtain her cloak and I
All
start
right.
running towards the fire to the east.
All right, I think you can make it all the way there using 2 move actions because it is difficult terrain.
Okay.
That would be you hopping
Yeah.
across when they're essentially pretty much pews over to the fire. You reach the fire, and that will be the end of your turn for 3 actions unless you have anything else.
Yeah, I was just gonna start beating out the flames.
All right. And then so when you speak, Moth, this fire elemental whips at you and then just summons a fireball and just jumps over to you and attacks.
Bring me pain. Ah!
All right. So it says partially absorbed.
Yeah, 4 damage was part of my temporary hit point. So like I as it comes close, I go "Bwah," and like the soul of the person I ate jumps in front of it and it like burns part of his soul and there's
Okay,
like a
that's great.
little bit of it left and I go
Wow, that's great. This adventure path calls you guys the heroes. By the way, I'm just saying, like that's hilarious.
I know. Did
yeah.
you see the heroics of that spirit? Like, good job.
Yeah, sure.
Get him a
We're all
statue.
like heroes of our own story.
Exactly. That is what I've been saying.
In my
All right.
opinion, the
I'm
Jedi are
thinking very
evil.
heroically.
And now, Sailix, it's your turn.
Yay.
All right. So because of your position, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not only a monster, but we're also dealing with what is called a hazard, which is an environmental threat that works a lot like a creature, but isn't a creature. You have your own ways of defeating it, but essentially all you need to know is that there are 40 people in here. The place is on fire. The fire is spreading, and you don't want to see 40 people die. So whatever you want to do to remedy that.
How much time do I have? Like, can I use one of my partial actions to speak to the dwarf that I'm next to?
Yes. I mean, if you wanted to make an intimidate or diplomacy check to do anything aside from just speaking, you can, but you can speak to him. No problem.
Let's see. What is my intimidate? Yeah, sure. I guess he's like, since Sailix is kind of like on edge right now, he'll kind of yell as he's moving towards the elemental to for him to get the others and start filing out. Like he'll just be like, don't just stand around. Start getting out of here right now.
Excellent.
Go.
All right. So, yeah, he and a couple others will start to mobilize, and you can as well if you would like. If you're trying to get people out yourself, or if you're just trying to, on one action you've got him out headed towards the crowd to help them get out. If you want to attempt, I will make you roll for it. If you want to attempt to get the other 4 counselors to do the same.
Yeah, no, I'll definitely like start screwing. Well, there's a back side door, isn't there?
There is a back door, yes.
All right.
They can go out that door, the door on the stage, the northern facing door. They can go out themselves, or they can get people to come out.
Yeah, no, as I'm gonna be walking, because I'll use my other action to move closer to the elemental.
All right.
I have 30, so 10, 30, right there, and I'll tell Barbie behind me that to also start either help get people out or get out of the way. You're either going to be in the way or part of the char.
All right. Make a request action, which is a diplomacy roll.
All right. Ooh.
Ooh.
It's a bad time for everybody right now.
Yeah, she's pretty shook, and she's not a very courageous person to begin with, so it didn't work. But you've made some progress. You have 1 action left.
With my remaining action, I'm going to shoot the elemental with lightning. Give me a second. Trying to remember. Heal. Oh, that was the wrong one. And actions. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't because it takes 2 actions. So I am going to, I guess, For electric arc, it takes 2 actions, and I only have 1 remaining.
Oh, that's fine.
So I'm going to, can I like ready a defense or something in case?
Yeah, or I mean, you could also request for other people to leave. There's also, that there's a northwestern door exit that leads to like a side garden, and it's not the easiest way to get out, but it's still an exit. You can remind people, they might not know.
Yeah, I guess he'll just start pointing to the northwestern exit, and he'll like, exit off the stage, go there, don't try to pile out through the front door.
Excellent. You have, that will ultimately mean 6 people escape safely in the very beginning, early stages of this fire. But now we'll see as the fire expands, it gets a little bit trickier. So that one's going to get larger, and that one is going to get larger. Those are 2 pathways people were going to take, starting to look a little bit constricted. The beginning of round 2 for combat, that northern door busts open. It's on fire as well. Like a timed attack, but until something's done, that door probably isn't usable. Rune, it's your turn again.
All right. Rune has been eyeing the elemental since it arrived. Well, I'm going to be casting a spell. 2 actions. Puts him close enough. He will begin. His hands will throw up in the air. The book at his side begins to slightly hover next to him a bit.
Yep.
As he begins an incantation, 2 circles appear in front of him as debris from the building around him begins floating up, and it flings through these circles, causing them to increase in speed, and slightly in size as it shotguns at the elemental.
Perfect, because that's mostly wood chips, so you're doing great. All right, let's see. That would be a hit.
Cool.
All right.
I believe that would, out of curiosity, does Corvid see anything outside?
No.
Okay.
You don't. Yeah, not. I mean, you can make a perception check. I'm gonna need to see an impressive result, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
And now for the director.
All right. So, do I see Shavi, or do I need to make a perception check to see her?
You see her.
Okay, cool. I'm going to use one of my focus spells and inspire courage. I don't know how we want to count for those modifiers.
So, inspire courage on who?
It is a 60-foot radius emanation. I inspire my allies with words and tunes, and each of my allies gains a +1 status bonus to attack damage and saves against fear.
All right. So I'm just going to manually apply that effect.
Yeah.
Using the drag and drop and the effects pane to you, Moth, Rune, Monica.
It lasts for 1 round.
Yeah, the timer is embedded in there, so good. Everybody's got it now.
And then I'm going to move as my action. I'm going to start heading over to Shavi.
Excellent. You're fresh out of difficult terrain, so you should have decent space. Remember, every other diagonal is 10 feet, so it's 5, 10, 5, 10 is the pattern.
Okay. I think that is about where I'd end up.
So yeah, so that would be 5, 15, 20.
Yeah. I think I can, yeah, that's my 25 might be my
Oh yeah.
range.
So you can get to 25 from there.
Okay. All right.
Remember a couple things.
So yeah,
I think you're wounded 1.
I am wounded 1.
Okay, just checking. So long as you know that, and note that the fire is spreading in her direction.
Yes, and as as flavor to this, since I am inspiring courage, and I'm supposed to be doing this through song and everything, the director is very is very much like, oh my goodness, this is going to cost us so much. Pyrotechnics is so expensive. I can't believe this. The sooner we get out of here, the less money we're going to spend. Oh God, what are you doing down here, Shabby? Oh God, what are you doing?
God.
Everybody, come on, let's go. So
it's what everybody needs right now, honestly, is someone yelling in this situation. And
Exactly.
Moth, it's your turn. You're already casting Chill Touch.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay, so roll damage.
Oh, I don't think we have damage for this yet.
For Chill Touch?
yeah,
I thought I added it.
It's 1d4 plus 4, though. What's that? No, that's not it. Those are just... Yeah, not yet.
It's all right. You can... let's just roll...
Oh, I can
you're
roll the
doing
other
in the-
one, because it's the same damage. There you go.
Wow.
1d4 plus 4 is 8, and... All right, so...
Yeah, so I kind of open my mouth. I go,
Yes.
"Wah," as little hands reach out and like just start slapping the shit out of him.
Love
With
it.
This cold touch. And then after that, that same person who I've sucked its soul, I kind of like cough him up and stretch him out to this shield as I cast shield on myself.
Beautiful. And Marka.
All right, so I am gonna work on beating out this fire.
Beat that fire.
All right.
So I don't know what I need to roll.
So, let's see. There is a way to...
I think diplomacy.
Thanks.
Hey, Mr. Fire, can you not?
Listen, this is exactly the reason why my services are needed.
Mm-hmm. About to have human barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, as you beat this fire with your cloak, you realize that it's probably grown too far by now for you to manage with the cloth. And as the cloak starts to catch fire, you realize that it's doing more to you than you are to it.
Great. So I will turn around and see the director heading for what's her name?
Copy.
Yeah, and realize that he is also small like me, so we should probably work together to get that person out. So I
Right.
will use whatever I have left to run toward them.
All right, so make a reflex save for me.
Okay. 23.
Okay, you did excellently. But so as you're walking, two people panicked, hop over the pews. They don't see you. They tackle you, but you manage to make a recovery pretty gracefully, and you land diagonally just a bit over. You notice as you look out, there's a crowd of people. They don't know where to go. Genuinely, they have no idea, and people are blocking and they're panicking. They don't want to go anywhere near the fire. So that side of the room with the pews is just like congested.
Okay.
And with this fire spreading, it doesn't look like the math adds up in a way that these people make it out safely. without some serious intervention. But you still have one other movement left. So I think you'd be able to move. That would be 10.
Well, if there's a ton of people in the way, and we're gonna have to clear this door, the south door, in order to get Xavi out, I will, I guess, start trying to persuade people to calm down and move single file out the door.
All right, make a you can make a diplomacy check.
Okay. What do I do? There we go. 14.
It's not gonna do it.
Yeah, well, I tried.
Let's see. Now the elemental. Now when you touched this creature, it lost a part of itself through the ice as it cracked up its skin. It popped a few ribs, and you notice now it looks more like an ash elemental. It's kind of magically glitching out and is barely able to keep its form, but it is not done with you yet. No, it's madder than it's ever been. So it's going to attack you. I dare say that's a hit. And we're going to go for... So that's 5 damage, but if you raise your shield, that's spell Excellent. All right. So let me just heal that for you. Let me target you real quick.
Moth is still the creepiest.
I'm the best. Come at me, little.
All right.
Butt.
You have 10 health, accounting for the damage you took last session, I
Okay.
believe. Damage that was on the combat
Yeah.
tracker. I'm not positive. So, that would be the elemental start. Sailix.
All right.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to try to get the councilwoman moved to either help or get the hell out of the way. One more time. So that what you said, that was either diplomacy or intimidate.
Yeah, so unless you've intervened, they have just headed for that door that you mentioned. They would just be heading straight out of the stage to get there.
Okay.
With the exception of Yorsk, he's actually helping get people out. Except he's a bit heavy-handed in his approach, and he kind of scared them, so now they're all kind of clumped up because they don't want to go near the fire, they don't want to go near him, they don't know who. And then there's a fire elemental there, the fire breaking out, they're really hemmed in there. There's about at least 20 of them.
Can I attempt to yell enough to get their attention to point towards the door where the council people are running?
Yes, that will be an intimidate check.
All right. Intimidation. Wow. Ow, son of a bitch.
Not looking good.
You're just the nicest guard.
You've got another you've got another 2 actions.
Well, I'm going to use acid splash on the elemental. I don't know if it worked or not.
So you'll just drag that attack icon. The elemental. Oh, well, that'd be a critical. So for that damage on acid splash, just remember that damage icon.
Right.
Hold down Shift and click and drag it over the small elemental, and that'll roll the damage as a critical. All right. Well, the elemental dies, but you take it. Tell me what's going on there.
So as Sailix is trying to direct people out the door, he's like, come on, this way, that way. like sword in one hand and everything. He just looks down and just like throws like a glob of acid at the elemental that's like tangled with Moth at this point. Like, oh, I don't have time for this shit. Throws it, and then like looking around to move on. Like one action, and he's done. He's just gonna try to like keep it moving to help these people out of the burning building.
All right. Excellent. And now on the turn of this environmental hazard, the fire will grow just a little bit larger, creeping closer and closer to Shavi. And now it's blocked the entirety of the pews there. All right. So Rune, it's your turn.
Okay, so the in theory, the thing causing this fire has now died. Is that correct? Or the thing it started in anyway?
Yeah, the thing that was here at the start of the fire now is dead.
All right. So the council people are getting directed out.
Yep, they're pretty much almost all out of the door now, except for Yorsk.
Perfect.
And Greta Gardania, actually, the one in orange, she seems to be on her way back down to help now that she's noticed, now that the elemental's dealt with.
Rune will take a hurried assessment of his surroundings to see who needs help to get out.
All right, you will immediately see the 20 or so people in a clump. They're starting to space out a little bit better now. They're not so much panicked now that the elementals died. They're kind of maybe using it as an opportunity to create a stampede in the direction of an exit. And Shavi is unconscious, and the fire is creeping towards her. You do see that.
All right. He will go help his fellow townsperson. Just looking over, Shavi, as he runs in that direction.
So this is not difficult
run, right?
terrain. And then I think running is... Yeah, running is an action, right?
I think so.
It is a... It might just be that using all three actions to run is the same as basically a run action. Like it's 3 times your speed. I'm not sure there's a full round action that covers it.
Now, as he goes over to the pews, that gets where that goes too difficult.
Not for where she is though. Moving across pews will count as difficult terrain because they're short enough that it essentially just is difficult terrain. It's not much more than, yeah. So that maneuver, no difficult terrain.
Yeah, he's not that dexterous. But yeah, he'll grab Shavi, looking at the director. Director, help!
I was getting there. You have longer legs.
Increase your size.
So I think you've got 2 more actions, right? Use 1 movement.
Movement at least took 2. I think that'll just be the end of his turn. At least as he attempts to move Shavi away from the flames.
Okay. Yeah, dragging things, you can move. I'm going to give you 5 feet. You can drag any object. It says 50 feet per minute. So using 1 action's worth of dragging somebody is about 5 feet. So that's enough to put her out of the growing fire, keep her from catching flame. And the director, it's your turn.
He will, as he sees Rune running by, he will make the comment about having long legs and everything, but he will catch up as well, because that's where he was intending to go, and assist Rune with pulling her out. Get her out of the building. You can carry her. Take her out. And where are the people that are just kind of huddling in this area?
So just all the pews on the east side of the room. Okay. There's just a crowd of about 20 people. So as this fire grows.
Yeah. All right. He's going to. So is like this guy over here where are they all, you said they're all gathered. Are they near that fire, or are they near the wall?
They're up top. So it's just they're pretty spread out right now, just throughout all of the pews. Let's say they're right here.
Okay. All right. The director, after making sure that Rune has Xavi, that he's moving her and that he can handle her, he will move over to here, and I'm going to try and use a charm, or make a charm test to get the people that are there to go to the exit. He's gonna get up on a pew so that he is seen.
Yep.
And calmly start to, I need everybody to move this way in a calm and cautious manner, or you're going to burn to death. Please move. And I'm going to do my charm test.
Cast it.
Cast it. Hold on. Performance, I guess. There is no technical charm in this, so it's going to be performance. Yeah.
Yeah, so is this a spell you're using?
I'm just using a performance.
Okay, gotcha.
As a skill, yeah.
Gotcha, right. So, all right, they start to move. The downside to this is they do it on your turn, and the pews are no longer difficult terrain, but the walkway is, as they start to pour out all the way up until where Rune is currently. Okay. That all becomes difficult terrain as they file out. They do it, and now the place just seems congested again, but looks like everybody's coming out fine. Moth, it's your turn.
Yay. I will just go towards someone and start dragging him out. Being helpful.
Excellent. Yeah, find an unconscious body.
Yep.
We're going to roll people that got out.
It's like mine.
With you 5, 6, 7. 4 minus 7, 27 people are coming out. About 27 people left. Actually, about 24 people left. And Monica.
Is there a window or anything that I could use to open up another way for people to get out?
Yes, there are windows.
Okay. Like, are there some down on the south wall, kind of perpendicular to where I am?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to hop over the last set of pews.
Excellent.
And just start opening windows. And just yell, "Windows, open here. You can go out.
Get your windows open now.
Get your windows here."
Basically real fake doors.
I prefer Mac.
So Sailix, it's your turn.
So do I see my brother anywhere? because he was in here with us when it happened.
You don't. You don't, and this is the weird thing is you don't remember where he sat. You weren't really paying attention because you were preoccupied, and you probably feel really bad about it right now because there's a bunch of people that are there's a few people that are on the ground unconscious, and there's also half of the room is on fire and you can't really see anything because there's smoke coming up and now filling clouding the ceiling and slowly thickening the air. But if he was on that side, maybe he didn't make it out. Maybe he already did.
I guess I'm going to go over to a few of the unconscious bodies and start trying to drag them out. Is there like a specific area they're at that I need to?
Yeah, in that circle, I'll exit. There's a few bodies there. You can pick one up and haul them out of the window if you'd like.
All right. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to just start tossing bodies out of the window.
Excellent.
So 5, 10, 15. And then once I get down here, it's you said it was rough terrain or
difficult terrain. Yeah, so no, if you're going to devote the round to moving a body out, that's no longer difficult terrain because the crowd has moved. Okay. You can successfully bring out 1d4 bodies during your turn. Just back and forth using an open window, which is on the east wall.
That's what he'll do. Just trying to hope that his brother had the good knowledge or luck to get out.
Yeah. Actually, fortunately, you see him. So as you pull this body out of the window, you see him pick it up. He's got burns going from his face down to his right hand. He looks super gnarly.
Well, as I'm leaning the body out the window, I'm like, oh, you look better.
Yeah, we're not out of the woods yet. If this place catches fire, the whole half of the city could go.
It's on fire.
All right, so he's going to help you start carrying out bodies, but yeah, there's not a sense of victory yet. This is quite a danger, and this hazard only grows more and more. And now that it's round 4, anybody in this room at the end of your turn, you're going to take 1d6 damage on choking on the fumes, because despite there being a few windows open, it's just producing smoke faster than the place can clear it. So people are beginning to choke. And vision's slightly impaired, but not enough that you'll see it mechanically. And Rune, it's your turn.
Rune, coughing at the growing smoke in the building, will attempt to heft Shavi unceremoniously over his shoulder.
Yep.
And attempt to get her out as quickly as possible.
I hate to do this to you, but make an athletics check for me.
Oh, you're
lift a fully armored
shithead.
Person over your shoulders.
Shithead. I don't like you.
That's why I didn't stay. I was gonna be like, I can't do an athletics check. I'm never gonna be able to pick her up.
Son of a bitch. Okay. I can do this.
Totally do it. You got it.
I can do this. I can't do this. I don't even have a modifier. Can I still do this without a modifier?
I don't think it's trained only.
Put your back into it.
Dokie. Oh boy.
Yeah, so for you it's untrained, which means so you pick them up, but you're not used to it, so you actually managed to pick Shavi up, but the weight and the balance you weren't expecting, so she will fall right over on the
other side.
on this long rug.
It was
body
effective.
Slammed her.
Yes.
It was effective, sort of.
So, but here's the thing, and yeah, you fall into the ground, but now you realize that there's also kind of a stampede of people that have just made it out of the pews and they're headed for that door. If you're not careful, you could risk serious injury.
Can I just attempt to pull her out of the way and at least go into the sort of down-ish direction towards that
Yeah.
same door? Basically, Rune's just like, shite. Trying to yank her out from the stampede.
Yep. Yeah, so you'll pull Shavi out of the way of the stampede. And actually, despite being prone, and the annoyance of having to avoid being stepped on, you realize that you're cleared from the smoke from down here. So you don't have to take damage at the end of the turn. But you are gonna have to get up before you move next turn.
That's, I guess, a silver lining.
Yeah, it's a trade-off, right? And now the director, you're in difficult terrain. You're maybe moving with the crowd.
Yeah. He is going to jump down from the pew because he had gotten up on the pew so that he could be seen. So he's going to jump down, and kind of move back so that all the people can rush out. He will continue to move though down to Rune, letting the mass amount of people exit. While he quietly hums "We Didn't Start the Fire" under his breath, because that's what I've been singing in my head. And he will assist. Ian is spinning the fire, and it's really amusing. He's going to cast Mage Hand to assist Rune with helping to guard and pick up Shavi for Rune, because he can't do it. There's no way he's going to be able to make an athletics check, but he can.
So,
I appreciate the Mage Hand, but that's cool.
So for Mage Hand, what are you doing?
I think I just can cast it, but I'm going to like offer it more as a support. Like I don't, it can't lift her up, but it can. I'm hopefully help guide or help Rune stabilize her so he can pick her up at either his turn or at some point. I don't think I can pick her up with it. I think she's too much. I think Mage Hand has a cap for.
Yeah. So what you'll do is you'll raise with her knees and maybe her arms still on the floor. You'll raise her torso, which will give leverage for picking her up when Rune wants to do a PR on a squat and lift himself and Shavi up.
Okay. All right. Do I need to roll for Mage Hand?
No, I don't think it requires a roll for Mage Hand. I don't think it opposes anything. But Moth, now it's your turn. What would you like to do?
I'm dragging this person, kind of just picking it up.
And the director, you will take 1d6 damage.
Didn't start the fire.
Yeah, just with all three actions, just what is it? Half movement for dragging. Oof.
Oof.
Yeah.
That puts you at 13 wounds. It's so that's not difficult terrain. Oh, so you're dragging. If you are going to dedicate an entire turn to moving bodies, we're just going to roll to see how many you can get out in a round.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Just assuming the efficiency.
Yeah, I'm just like my mouth opens up, I grab them with my teeth by the collar, and I drag them outside on all fours.
Yep, 2 people out. The crowd is mostly dispersed. There's about 10 people left.
Yay! I save people. Look, I am good person.
Yes, you have saved negative people. So once that's net zero, we can talk.
Yes.
Also, once you're a person, Anyway, Monica, it's your turn.
Okay, so I am gonna hop outside of one of those windows.
Okay.
And then I'm just gonna start yelling, "Get buckets! Get water! We need water!" And just like try
water.
or ice or something buckets. To put out the fire.
All right. So they understand what you want, but they don't know how to cast conjure buckets or mass conjure buckets.
But they live here. They know how to find buckets.
Look, I don't know where to find a bucket where I live. I mean, maybe one, but let's do a knowledge. God, what even would be the knowledge to figure out where this kind of thing is? You got to find somebody who would know.
Knowledge buckets.
Yeah, let's.
What about an intimidation check to just make people? Oh God!
You know what? Try to impress me, honestly.
Try to impress you.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I will. I will go up to someone who looks like they're local, and I will point my sword at them and say, "Where are buckets so that we can put out the fire?"
Rune Corvus hears this, and I'm going to let this be a reminder for another perception check Corvus can make. Notice something in this scenario.
Okay.
Buckets. Well, you see a couple people scatter. You don't know if they're running away from the fire, running away from you, or running to get buckets. So
I don't care.
You have one action left.
I'll go back to the windows and start helping get people out.
Excellent. That'll put you back in there.
Now I was going to be on the outside, like pulling people out.
Gotcha. That's clever. Sailix.
Oh man. You said there's about 10 people left?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's going to just keep on moving on and hauling out people.
Excellent. We'll do 2d4 because actually people aren't going to be moving from over there. They're going to be moving from this main walkway. And as you're helping people, usher people out, we're doing double dice because Monica's helping on the other side. You've got 4 people out. There's 6 left. This is when you notice the director and Shavi. Monica, you didn't have to take damage, just realized. But Moth and Sailix take 1d6 damage as you choke on the fumes.
All right.
Yes, but you get 4 people out. There's just 6 people left. And Rune, it's your turn.
Rune will attempt to take the leverage that the director is providing, and basically just lift Shavi up underneath the arms, just trying to 2-man carry for all intents and purposes.
Yep.
And walk backwards. He attempts to drag her or semi-carry her out.
All right, so you can make another athletics check.
You are a terrible person.
Or
I
a
do not
flat
like
drag
you.
check.
Shouldn't have skipped leg day.
I should not have skipped like that.
Oh, you just barely got it. Very well
Oh,
done.
thank
Yeah, it's a bunch of stacks of things making it harder and easier. And I love Pathfinder2e's rules for that. But yes, you beat it by 1. Shavi's up. You can get her out the door effectively. And you're not going to choke at the end of this turn. But your turn is just enough time to lay her down. If you have anything you wanted Corvus to do, you may.
Corvus will have to return to Rune in order to get further instructions. There's no telepathic comms. Right?
Excellent. The director.
Okay, so once he has seen Rune be able to move Shavi out, that is his go-ahead for getting out of here, because he is also dying of smoke.
Yeah, if you don't get out, you might. Yeah,
I might die. I could die. Yeah, like I'm. So that
Certainly.
is what I am doing. I am leaving. I am leaving the party.
All right. And Moth. Would you like to get a few people out? You're very low on health.
I am.
You're just starting to feel like an oven preheating on the inside.
Little coil.
Yeah, you're just not comfortably flame retardant like you could conceivably, just in the abstraction of how the game works and not in any weakness, you could catch fire if you get a little too hot here. And suffocation is very real.
I'm going back in. Saving more people.
My man.
Moth.
Are you serious?
Are you serious?
Am I serious?
Yeah.
All right. You will successfully get the rest of the people out.
How much damage do I take?
So I'm gonna let you roll that because it's kind of a faithful integer.
I will.
The odds are about 50-50.
All right, so D6, right? Here's my dice.
So you've got to.
Oh yeah.
All right. I see you.
I got one hit point
He's
left.
adjusted it. Excellent. So
I come out like, whoa, collapsing on the side like.
Monica, somebody comes back with a stack of 11 buckets.
Yes. Okay. Water. Where's a close by fountain or something? Or snow? Is there snow on the ground?
No. Let's pull up a map. There's a pond. Well, actually, it's a river.
Okay. So
pull up a map of Breachill.
All right.
Here, everybody. We are at the town hall right now. If you guys can find it on the map there, maybe zoom in if you would like.
Okay.
Yep, Breachill Town Hall.
So I'm gonna say, okay, create a line of people and get buckets and pass it down, and we'll throw it on the fire, and just like trying to organize this thing. I don't know why I'm helping these people, but I'm helping these people. So we're all
they're forming a bucket brigade.
Yeah.
Look at that. Just headed straight out to the water. It's not a perfect brigade. You haven't assembled enough people to make it
I'm sure once people figure out what we're doing, they'll join.
Yeah, the bottleneck here is on buckets.
Yeah.
The town like this never has more than 10 buckets on hand, it seems.
Or 11. But that's okay. It's something.
Yeah, and I think right about now, just about everybody has escaped this town hall.
Yes.
All of the counselors, I mean, a few people didn't make it, unfortunately, but
Moth
as far as you can tell, I mean, there could be survivors, but anyone who's on their feet is out by now.
Okay.
Moth ate half of the people he brought out.
So when Sailix comes out and when his brother turns the corner, he sees me directing people and be like, come on, let's do this. Let's get that fire out.
She had no idea, obviously, where her life would lead. And
so, Sailix, what do you have for that?
Are you muted, bud?
Give me the D, Daniel.
Daniel is muted.
You can't.
Yeah, so
random ad playing in the background. I was like, no.
In fact, the crowd of people who've decided to help, and they're actually kind of an impediment right now because they're standing around. They don't know what to do, and they're just watching in shock as the town hall starts to catch flame, embers coming out and drifting. And if anybody is familiar with wildfires, those drifting embers can be pretty bad for wooded villages.
Doesn't this town have a whole bunch of like water towers?
Yeah, like right next to where we're at.
So as a matter of fact, now that you think about it, you guys were there just yesterday, and it's right behind the town hall.
It is.
A series of 5 water towers, some of them quite almost literally towering over the town hall. So your eureka moment affords us an opportunity if you can manage your time effectively, but the clock is ticking.
Oh, we're screwed. Managing time effectively.
I don't think I would notice that because I am surrounded by people and like
Yeah, so no, you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
You're developing, you're taking a role there, and that's totally fine. You're preoccupied with the bucket brigade
Yeah.
on the,
It's up
coming
to
in,
you
people
guys.
coming
I don't
back
know
and
that you're
forth. But
alive.
so people in front of the town hall who escaped through that door, you guys maybe, I mean, that probably gets out pretty quickly. If you guys want to head up towards the water tower.
Sailix is gonna head there, like I guess run towards there.
All right.
Fast as he can.
So I'm gonna do something a little unconventional
I'll
here.
follow my little buddy.
You guys all approach these water towers. You're standing in the middle. Behind you, a town hall is on fire. You have to figure out what to do. If there's a way to quickly move water from the tower to the town hall, use the buckets. What are you going to do? Well, you got to figure it out.
We tip it over.
Got 1 minute.
Sailix would just start screaming at everybody to start trying to push one of the water towers over, like collapse the front legs and push the back legs like forward to try and get the water tower to fall and crash and the contents of the tower to like flood into the building. That's the best I got.
All right, how are you going to carry that out, guys?
I'm gonna start casting spells, Divine Lance, to just start chipping away at what's holding it up.
All right.
Well, he's doing that on one leg. On the one leg, Sailix will start chopping at the other one with a sword.
All right, yeah, the two legs that would hopefully bend it.
He's doing something similar, a variant of telekinetic projectile. He will basically draw the rune of the spell in front of him and throw the rune as a circle around the leg, doing the damage to the leg as it tries to rip it apart to throw it.
Excellent. So spells cast. Those don't have rolls, but actually I want you to make an attack roll for those two on a low DC.
I will also help. I'm also going to go there, and I also have telekinetic projectile.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's add the magnitude there. All right, so the town hall is intentionally one of the prettiest parts of the city. Surrounding it are trees and shrubbery and gardens. Inside it, you notice there are plenty of bookshelves. I mean, there's a lot to preserve here. And oftentimes with villages like this, it's the first structure that's built because it gets expanded on. Maybe like a jarl or a duke will reside there, and then as it comes out, they decide to like make it the center of town. But point is, they put a lot of effort into preserving this place. So it catching fire is a sad moment for everybody. But instead of grief, people feel pretty hopeful, especially with what Monica's doing. But except Monica, you realize your efforts were great, and you were ambitious early on to find a solution, but it paled in comparison to what you see, and that is a collapsing water tower just drowning out this entire section of the city because we're not very high from where the river, like the line of the river. Yeah. So water just floods out, and with it, the town hall just gets bombarded. I mean, through the windows. This thing actually crashes on top of the town hall, shattering parts of like everything glass around the building just gets destroyed, and part of it is looking pretty rough, but all of the surrounding trees and everything, the fire is gone in under a minute. And with that, people who weren't even done processing the shock of the fire that had started, now they're left surprised that it's still standing.
Where did Shavi go?
She got washed away. Into the
She got
river.
washed away. We
Oh,
just
man.
left her. We left her
Fortune
outside
man.
the front. She's just like slowly drifting away. I'm out. Peace, bitches. I'm out.
Alexa, play Evanescence.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, what's your immediate reaction to this? It looks like the problem has been solved. The cause of the problem isn't.
So Sailix is immediately going to start scouring the area for a summoning circle because the elemental couldn't be summoned like he was when he got attacked before with Monica. So that's what he is immediately going to tend to.
All right. And before we get back to that, the townsfolk are overjoyed. This fire cost 5 people their lives. It doesn't look like anybody that you know. I mean, Sailix, you knew them as acquaintances, but they were pretty much just peasants. Most of them. One of them an adventurer, and I mean, they lived at 30. Like, what's it? Yeah, they had a full life. It's okay. And the counselors, they are ecstatic. I don't know how you did what you did, but you saved the town. One of them says, "This is Greta Gardania."
Who is she talking to?
I'll pull you an image. She's actually talking to Monica.
Oh,
What? She's not talking to Moth?
Because,
What is this?
well, Monica was kind of inadvertently the face of the operation. just in terms of appearance.
I need
she
to put my
says,
face on Monica's.
no!
You assembled.
No.
I was. We were glad to help. Thank you. Yeah.
No, I thank you. I couldn't thank you enough. Are you one of the firebrands?
Oh, no, I actually came to town to like do some business to help shop owners not lose inventory, and I happened to be here. I was hanging out with Sailix, and we there was a fire, so okay, I got to get people out, and yeah. I'm sorry, I haven't slept very much, so I may
humble.
not be making sense.
No, you're fine. You're humble for a hero, you know.
Hero, that's funny. No one's ever called me a hero. Don't know if I would like that moniker, but sure.
Well, anyways, thank you. I don't. There's no telling what the damages would have been like, and I mean, and all of you saved this building. You might have saved the entire district.
Bruin will come and join the conglomeration, mainly to go check on Shavi. But looking at Monica,
Hi.
I would have to agree. You did very well. Thank you very much. Good direction.
You got our friend, our friend out, I think, right?
I hope so.
There were a lot of people, but I thought I saw you bringing Shavi out.
That was the director. Director did
Oh.
a fine job.
Oh, okay.
Damn right I did.
I high-five the director.
Yes.
Where's Moth?
Don't know.
Again?
Moth?
Moth. Yeah, where is Moth?
So
Probably
Moth,
somewhere far away
And
by now. He
is
can
Moth
wander
still
quickly.
wearing the halfling type disguise that he was wearing?
I'm probably back to my normal because enough time has passed. You see him just a little bit south. He's putting a cigarette to his lips. He's looking out at the water.
It's actually a Pesh split, but go ahead.
The director is actually.
I love that. God. I
Sorry.
don't know why this Leshy thinks he's Clint Eastwood all of a
I
sudden.
know.
But I'm fine with it.
Hey man,
The director
That's-
loves it.
that soul was delicious.
God.
He is writing. The director actually has pulled out from somewhere an unwet notebook or some notepad, and he is quickly and feverishly writing what he has just experienced. But that is a quick note that he'll slip back into his pocket and go find Shavi, who is probably 5 towns away, like having been drift away.
Ian,
And-
question on the
Yes.
arrival of the elemental. Did anything particularly signify it? Or did it just appear out of the ground?
It was summoned. It was summoned by a rock that had been thrown through the window as part of what exploded out. But instead of creating a fire, it summoned the elemental on that rug anyway. It did look a little bit strange.
Did it make an impact, or did it just sort of
Yeah, it made an impact, hard impact, and embedded itself in the wood, and then it cracked open.
All right.
But it
With the
looked unusual.
Fire out. Rune will be making his way back into the building to see if he can find the rock.
Yes, and in fact, as you go, just about at the same time, Greta is also heading into the town hall along with a couple other counselors.
You should probably have people taking out the books and things so that they can be preserved, because books and water don't do well together.
And Greta's gonna say, "Oh, the books, the books, the books, the books." Okay, she's gonna just run in.
Yeah. Books. Everybody save the books.
The books almost would have been fine if not for the surge of water to knock over all of the shelves. Hardly any of them are burned, but they're all soaking wet. Some of them in bookshelves overturned. But because it's on a stage, it's wet. It's not currently underwater, but you've got still a few inches of water in the town hall that hasn't found its way out yet.
Can I see if Shavi dropped the book?
Yeah, go ahead. You can search. Go ahead. Actually, you'll find the book.
Sweet. I want it.
Right on the floor there, and it's actually in a mound of ash and burnt wood. One of the pews was cracked open, and it's just sitting there black.
Hey.
But as soon as you pick it up, the ash that it's covered in isn't even caked on. It's like it's not attached. Almost like it could prestidigitate itself to remove any ash from it. It just, as soon as you lift it, it's dry as anything, and like bone dry. All the ash falls off, and it looks like it's in near pristine condition.
So I take.
Nobody sees you, man.
I take the book, I stuff it in my shirt, and then go about my business. But try to like tuck it so that it's hidden away in my clothing.
Right. Rune, I think you've headed back in here as well.
That is correct. Rune was going to where the elemental effectively was summoned to see if the rock that it came from is still.
How about you, Sailix? Were you investigating this?
Yeah, no, I was investigating the area around to see like if there's any.
Oh yeah, the summoning circle.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like it.
All right.
Nothing there this time.
I guess
So
I would go.
You remember this fire elemental looks exactly like the one you saw before.
All right.
So that's not a coincidence. Couldn't be.
I would go and help everybody inside then.
Yeah.
Meet back up with my peoples.
There's a few corpses, but yeah, picture a scene, guys. It's ashy, dark in here, and as damp as could be. Decent amount of natural light coming in, and because it is still winter, it's bitter cold, and you can feel the water soaking into your shoes as you're sloshing through, looking at this burnt up town hall. But it looks like it. I mean, it looks as though it could be restored. You get a sense that you really saved this from being just a pile of soot, honestly. And Rune, when you pick up that object, you notice it has a few inscriptions on it. It looks like a magic item, but it's also
He will
cracked
do
open.
He will do detect magic on it, but more than that, he'll just study it.
Yeah. The cavity inside of this cracked, it almost looks like a geode with runes carved into it. Tells you that it was sort of a mundane container for an arcane object, and the way it was thrown into the room tells you that this is the outcome of it being chucked and maybe activated. It's all you've got on it for now. I mean, you could study it later if you'd like.
Yeah, he'll keep it for now.
And you'll notice Greta, she's working on trying to remove water from as many books on the bookshelves on the northern wall as possible. And Warball here, who's
prestidigitation to try and help dry them off.
Excellent. I mean, of course, Greta says, and she'll start actually doing her own version of the spell. Albeit at a much slower pace, but she's managing to pull the moisture from these books as well, at least the ones that aren't burnt to a crisp. And Warball is grabbing her things. If you remember her from last session, she was giving a speech before she was interrupted. Well, this is just a mess, she says as she makes her way down the stairs. Rune, if I could speak with you.
Yes, of course. How can I help you?
Well, this has been nightmare, but my allies at Citadel Alterine, they're still suffering. I don't know what's happening, but we still need your help. So once you have your things sorted out, could you meet me at Cadence Keg?
Yes. Is there anyone else you would wish to have there?
Anybody. I suspect you'll need help. The tribe themselves, the Bumble Brashers, they're quite tough, so whatever broke them, I don't take offense to it, but they might be too much for just you.
No, it likely will be. I'll see what I can find for you, yeah.
Very well. And she'll head out. All right, anything else on the agenda for you guys?
Well, Rune will go to look for the director and Modica.
The director is actually going to be kind of listening in around the townspeople. He's really interested in what they're saying happened there, as well as possibly overhearing anything that anybody saw when they were outside when he was inside during this, and like who might have thrown the rock or like anything like that. He's trying to collect information from the conversations that are happening.
So you hear a rumor
Mm-hmm.
between two tillers, and one leans in on the other and he says, "Remember that halfling organized the bucket brigade? I don't know if I trust her. I think she caused all of this." And the other one says, "Oh, how so?" First one says, "Well, right before all of that happened, I happened to see a halfling about the same height, about the same clothes, headed straight the other direction. I'm not saying anything, but it sounds like she did it."
That's fantastic.
Do what you will with that one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's great. No,
They'll even point. So
Okay.
the direction he points to the town hall, the main entrance where this attack may have occurred, and then out towards the city gate. So do what you will with that rumor, but
Okay. Yeah. And then after that, he'll just be meandering around, eventually head back to the bar, but he'll intercept with Ruin before that.
And
excellent.
Mariko is actually in the town hall with Rune, helping get any books that have gone into the lower waters, and just put them up higher. She doesn't have any magic abilities, but she can just like stack the books away. So yeah.
All right, and Moth, are you still smoking your post-ghost cigarette?
Yeah, Moth is watching the group and as they pick up books and shakes his head.
What do you have to say about this? Greta says.
You're taking my people out of the ash just to use. I say fuck you.
Great.
Mitchell, why?
Rachel, this is not that orc.
This is how you die.
I'm Moth, and this is my story.
We're not.
Yeah.
Hey.
We're not in a story with him. We're locked in here with him.
All right, so maybe it'll take about a couple hours, but Greta's very thankful,
Pathfinder Noir
and
over here.
she'll pay each of you 9 gold for helping to restore what's left of essentially the town's archives.
Thanks.
Is that only for them or for all of us?
The people that spent a lot of time to help. Certainly not Moth. Maybe she did it just because Moth was in the room, honestly, just to not pay him. But yeah, so that.
I say flesh. Do I not receive payment?
I'm very grateful for you, Moth. And then she's not even going to follow up on that. She's just going to continue to pay them and not you. Because you're still a living enigma.
Flesh is fleeting.
And so Sailix, you will have arrived after this effort because you had a couple things to attend to. Who took care of Shavi's body?
Yeah,
She's alive.
In the fire.
No.
No. Oh.
No, she's back in the cave, right?
She's back. Oh yeah. Okay, good. So yeah. So you will have. Yeah. Now you're
Put
back.
that fire with the rest
like,
of the fire.
It looks like everything's about wrapping up here at the town hall.
Did I see my brother or anything on the way?
No.
All right.
He does that. He's pretty flighty. He's probably off checking out reports, trying to figure out what happened here.
So when Rune catches up with both Director and Modica.
Yep.
Pardon me, you two. Bit of a favor to ask.
Oh, yeah, sure.
What's up?
Warble, the goblin that was speaking. They're hoping to meet with us at the kegs. Something.
Okay.
Caden's
Caden's Keg.
Yeah, Kate.
Yeah, that's it. Caden's keg.
The place where we were last night.
Yeah.
Obvious. Co-owns it.
So I was hoping maybe you two could convince some other people to join us.
Do you know what she wants to talk about?
Yeah, there's a favor that she wants to ask of us, but it's going to take more than just me. So I thought I would pass along the work to others.
Well, I can certainly see if I can get some other people to join you, but I don't think I want to be doing any traveling just yet.
I'm up for it.
Oh, all right. I mean, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've hung out with you all for less than a day, and I've had a demon summoned on me. I have had fire thrown at me, and have been thrown into this position of a lot of visibility, and I'm not quite sure how to handle it. And I don't feel like running away to do the next big thing is wise when there are so many questions.
So I am with you on the last point specifically. There are a lot of questions to be asked. So you didn't come here for the hero call?
No.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So you just came here to look for dragons?
Well, I came here for my trade, and I had heard that there was a library that had extensive information on dragons, which is a fascination of mine.
I see.
Do you have a twin? He's going to look at Monica.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, continue.
Why do you ask? I'm afraid to know.
I am writing a story, and it is imperative that I know. Leave that for what you will, yes.
Okay.
So opening those doors on the south wall.
What is the story about, Director?
You're going to see one day. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it just yet.
You guys are still in the flooded town hall. But I think you guys are headed out now.
Yeah.
Bruno will do a detect magic just to get take a quick wander through the building to see if anything else magical pops up.
Yep.
Aside from that, he will most assuredly just walk out.
All right. As you guys open the doors, greeted by a couple people who have nothing better to do on their Sunday, and it sort of looks like a crowd, but kind of just people in awe at the spectacle of something unusual happening in the city for the first time in kind of a while. A couple people though that you'll notice as you guys all head out is Yorsk Axebane, that the dwarf counselor, that
the one that doesn't like me.
Yes. And Sailix, your brother, Wolford.
Right.
It looks like they're arguing. And Yorsk comes really close on him. But he's not a really big guy. He's not stocky like dwarves. He's just short like dwarves. So Wolford pushes him out of the way, not enough to knock him off balance, and draws a sword. He says, Monica Freerunner?
Yes. That's me.
You're wanted for arson.
What is this about?
He's going to take a step closer. Brother, we can sort this out, but...
I was in there the whole time.
Not quite sure I believe that.
Would you believe the word of your brother who was there?
He's only going to look him in the eye for about a second. He's going to take another step closer and say, let me ask you.
All right.
You here for the Call of Heroes?
No.
So why are you here?
For work.
I've
and
heard
for
about
the
your
library,
work.
but...
Yeah, see, Town Guard aren't a bunch of idiots, Monica. We hear things, especially when you're so loud. And what I hear is that you're in the business of protecting people, protecting businesses from disaster. Well, less than 24 hours after you arrive, what do you know? A business and a disaster.
Let me clarify something.
You can clarify from the other side of a cell.
You say disaster, I say loss prevention, meaning people with sticky fingers. I don't deal in mass destruction. That is not my skill set. I have no magical inclination whatsoever.
I'm gonna need you to make a I don't think it's stealth. I think it's sleight of hand. No, it is stealth now.
Okay.
Yeah, make a check to conceal an object.
There you go.
Very well, good.
That was a 21 for those of you who didn't see that.
So who's going to speak for her?
Sailix will step forward and be like, yeah, no, she was definitely there the whole time. And she was a great part of the reason that so many people got out.
Sounds to me like loss prevention. Let me tell you, there
It's,
were a lot of people in that room. You sure you saw her?
it sounds to me that you're trying to put a face for all this blame, brother, and you need to take a step back and lick your wounds before you make me mad. And we throw hands right here in front of this crowd.
Moth will take a step forward too. Her flesh is under my protection.
That's really creepy. Is there anything similar to an insight check that I can do for this brother that's acting weird?
So, I mean, unless you have a specific lore skill that would fall into it, it looks like you would be making a society check for recall knowledge if you're trying to remember something that you already know, or perception to know something new from what you see.
Okay, I'll try perception, because why not?
Yeah, and while you're doing that, he's going to say, I had 6 farmers, 6, tell me a halfling looking exactly like this one.
Right.
Through whatever that was into the town hall and escape.
Let me stop you right there, brother. Do you remember when we both came to this town and people kept confusing us for looking the same? When, you know, I'm a good foot taller and have white hair and you're not as attractive as me.
Like the good human says, each of our faces could be easily interpreted as another.
So I did get an 18 on that perception.
He just seems as suspicious as Sailix was, honestly.
Yeah.
Brother, I will personally attest for her. She's under my watch. If anything goes wrong, I will deal with the consequences personally. But starting a witch hunt because some farmers saw a halfling and they can't tell the two different people apart is not what we do.
I agree. If Sailix is lying, then both will hang on the hangman's noose before dawn.
Moth, you're not helping.
Hey,
This
watch
is
them
great.
both.
I will.
Actually, him and... God. I love that.
Oh, man.
You get a hero point for that. You've got 2 hero points now. He's gonna head out over to the whatever gate he's decided is best to watch.
Yeah, and as he leaves, like a little hand comes out of the jaw of the skull, and there's a little eyeball on it, and it just turns to look at Sailix and Monica. And then
Liam's gonna,
Just goes.
Sailix is gonna poke the eyeball.
He's got his eye on you.
And
Eye on you.
It feels
I love
pokey, and as you poke it, it like punctures part of it, and so a little bit of goo drips from it onto your finger.
Great.
It smells of sweet eggs.
Sailix, I realize that there is a suspicion towards outsiders, but does this seem peculiar to you? That someone would try to frame an outsider?
He'll look down towards you and just kind of shake his head and say, well, you know, considering I did find you trying to break into a house last night, I can't really...
I wasn't trying to break in. I was assessing the security of the exterior.
Monica, stop doing shady shit.
And Yorsk, actually, who is in this altercation, he's gonna come up and say, "This is Yorsk Axbane, the dwarf."
The dwarf that doesn't like me. Got it. He was ready to throw down with me. The night before.
Sailix came over and like was handling sort of, don't do that.
He's actually pretty scrawny for a dwarf. Now that you noticed, the beard is pretty deceiving, and then
but the scar is hot.
Dwarf-esque face. Yeah, he skips arm day even. It's not looking good below the portrait, but it's fine because he wants to talk. I changed my mind about you.
Truly.
Saw what you did there.
You have my thanks.
Well, take this as forgiveness. He's going to hand you a pouch.
Oh. Thank you. I'm not even going to look at it. I'm just going to like hang on to it for now. I'll look at it when he's gone.
I know what it's like being... He's going to look around a little bit. Smaller. Get mistaken. And this is different. I think you're being framed.
You're not the only one. I also think I'm being framed, and I'm not sure why. Other than an outsider is an easy scapegoat.
I imagine the only person who would have done it was spending the night at the inn where I met you. So, and we will recall that you spent the night at Wizard's Grace the other day before Caden's Keg. Caden's Keg was empty, so it wasn't intriguing. If you want to look into it, I'm willing to break some arms.
Me too.
I'll be over there. I don't like him. He's gonna walk over there.
I don't either, but find me later. I'll buy you an ale.
I'm small too.
All right. So now that we are out of to any apparent danger, what do you guys want to do for downtime?
At some point, the director will gather everyone. And like before we go on to the next bar, or maybe like right after we all get to the bar.
The narrative, I mean, towards the end of the night, anybody who's not boring, you can sort them out pretty easily. It's just the people with money that aren't peasants. You could hear them talk about the place they want to stay. There's pretty much only 3 options. Pickled Ear, which is very food oriented and just kind of not fun. Caden's Keg, which is the most fun. And Wizard's Grace, which is for adventurers. That's the one that's close by. They're all pretty much splitting into those 3 camps.
So yeah, at some point, are we all going to go to the same place immediately, or are we all kind of going to go toward? Essentially,
You're Bard. You can control that.
I can indeed control that. We all go.
Ring's gonna go to Caden's.
All right, let's all head over there because guys, he's gonna look at Monica specifically. I got some things I need to tell you. Let's just go. Let's get some drinks. Let's just go. Let's just figure this out. Okay. All right. Let's go.
Sailix is gonna stand behind Monica and be like, "Yeah, we're a pair now, so."
Well, I couldn't ask for a better guard to be paired with.
And I am also linked.
Yeah, we're gonna make the noose out of you if we have to hang from the tree, so.
I like stand behind Sailix again and just be like, I don't understand your fascination with him, but he still creeps me out.
All right. Well, the party heads down to Caden's Keg.
As the group walks away, Rune's familiar will finally land upon the top of his staff as they bounce on it periodically.
Bye, Shavi. Good luck.
Oh yeah, we got to take Shavi.
Thoughts
Yeah,
and prayers.
Shavi's
No, we're
coming
leaving here.
with us.
Thoughts and prayers.
Shavi,
Thoughts
yeah,
and
no,
prayers.
her
Shavi's already there.
Okay, good.
Sailix dropped Shavi off.
Okay, good. All right. The the director will at some point go into the conversation that he overheard from the Tillers.
Yes. Well, so before you do that,
Okay.
as you reach Cadence Keg, you realize that it has been closed for business because as soon as Bryn Tate and Jacob Crow found out about Shavi, they decided not to focus on operating the business and to treat her immediately. She's unconscious, in critical condition. And they realize that despite being a temple in a way, Cadence Keg, they don't feel like they have the right equipment there. So they flipped their sign to closed and moved to the Great Dream House. So the place is vacant. If you want to ask them if you can go into the tavern, you can. It's not a great time. It's pretty rude, honestly.
Is it locked?
It's not locked.
Yeah. Going in.
You're the worst. So you see the sign, it's closed. Moth puts enough effort into it that it's not closed. You make the door lie, and suddenly you guys can go into Cadence Keg.
I don't know if that's the best thing.
No, I don't either.
Moon-
A little awkward.
Moon will send Corvus out to ask Bryn
Tate. Yeah.
Bryn to if we can use Cadence as a meeting place this evening.
Yeah. It basically writes in poor handwriting that it actually says it'd be against my faith to say no.
Corvus
Have fun.
can talk, so Corvus will fly there. Ask.
Oh, okay. Bryn says, of course, it would be against my religion to say you can't. Honestly, the booze is there.
Thank you.
And
Very much appreciate it.
Shit's on the top shelf.
It is it now? Top, you say? Thank you.
All right. So you guys fill up this vacant tavern, and
the bird does not talk about the top shelf, although it hangs out up there.
Sounds about right. And the director, you have the floor.
Oh man.
I presume.
Yeah, he would. So after they get inside, I guess since it's quiet, so he doesn't have to speak too loudly, and he doesn't have to worry about other people listening in too much. He would look at Modica and be like, "There's interesting talk about you going on around the city. Right outside right after all the fire and everything was happening, I overheard two tillers talking about they saw you, not just any halfling, but specifically you, throw something into the building. Now, I know that's not true. We all know right now that's not true because we all saw her in there. However, there was some sort of doppelganger, we'll say, that looks extremely much like you, and headed towards the whatever gate that it was that they were pointed to. Right after this. Interesting. Just FYI, guys, this is something he was going to look at Sailix. I'm guessing your brother heard the same thing. I mean, this is all kind of correlating together. I don't know what it means.
Sailix, aren't you in union with that male you were speaking with earlier?
What?
He's asking about your fiance.
Oh, he's gone.
You
Are
were
you all right?
splitting your union?
Thoughts and prayers.
Yes, we've decided to part ways as of now.
I get him a beer.
You're a better man.
But I'm going to find him, and we're going to have a conversation face to face.
That's good. Closure is good. Here, have a beer.
Love is a battlefield.
When two organics come together, often you cut off a limb and plant the other within its stump, and thus you will have something greater than there was before.
I think I'm going to write that down. That is an excellent Valentine's Day card. That doesn't exist.
All right.
Probably does.
I wish this for you, Sailix.
I appreciate it very much. Yeah, no.
All right. So in order for Sailix to keep a salary, you're going to have to figure out what happened with this attack on the city. Otherwise, you'll be voted out because that's a lot to happen in one day.
Well, but he still keeps his 401k, right?
Let's
Not his dental.
Oh, God.
Mitchell. Not his dental.
Sailix, I don't want to cause trouble for you, so I will stay in town with you, help you figure this out, because you stood up for me. Not a lot of people do that, so whatever we need to do to get this resolved, I'm with you 100%.
Has your town had a doppelganger problem before? Is this like the first time this is happening?
Well, I mean, last night we figured out that Rune is a doppelganger of the city town founder, so that's fun.
Oh yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, underground, deep in the earth, there are lots of people who look just like us, and who come up to the surface every now and then to exact vengeance that we sit below the sun, and they do not.
You're talking about ghosts.
No, I'm talking about flesh and blood dripping
That's-
up from the earth.
That's zombies.
All right. So the current mission. What do you guys think?
At some point, I want to sneak away and put the dragon book in, not my room, but Shavi's room.
Oh, at Caden's Keg?
Yeah,
Okay, smart.
but I will also sneak in there to read some.
During the night. Okay,
During the night.
excellent. You're going to have an extremely difficult time reading that, by the way, but you can
I'd try.
certainly try, yeah. And you should roll your dragon lore skill on that. That'll be helpful, and I'll give you a write-up on what you see later. The director.
Nope.
What's your mission here?
The director's mission is to kind of see how this unfolds. He is super interested in what's going on. This is all a very interesting narrative to him. So he's going to stay near Sailix and Rune to try and gather any information that they have and kind of just go and see what they do.
All right. And Rune?
Well, Rune is many directions conflicted. He wants to hear what War will need so he can get a good breadth of all of the events that are going on. He does, in fact, recall that the town's founder apparently looks like him, which is a bit disturbing, but he can set that aside for now.
Yep.
The most immediate interesting thing is the big rock that crashed into the town hall, broke open and summoned an elemental by someone who chose to attempt to frame another recent arrival, a halfling. So right now he's just staring or doing some research on the rock that he took, trying to piece together
Right.
what it says, how it works, maybe where it was from.
Yeah. Make a recall knowledge check for me, and I think that's society. It's an action called recall knowledge. It's a society check. Let's see. Yeah. So I mean, as far as trying to figure out tough problems, maybe one of the smartest people in town is going to be Jorel Blacktusk at the Breachill archives, and I think you did meet to speak with him at some point. So now that we're in like an ambiguous downtime phase for the night, we'll say, Monica, you're going to do some reading. Rune, you're going to sneak off. Sailix, what did you have in mind for your
So
next step?
I would ask that Monica not leave the keg.
Shucks. I am so disappointed by this request.
Just me and my book.
Just me and this book. It's not my book. Let's clear with that.
And if like since the cave's closed, they shouldn't have a problem with people coming in to trying to scrutinize her or anything. But then he would go off and go to the dream house, whatever, and just kind of try to pick up loose ends of what Kalen was trying to tell him or something, because he had mentioned something before he left about forcing his hand and things, so maybe he might have left something behind or something to give Sailix an inkling to point the group towards. But he would largely try to aid Rune's efforts in figuring out what the hell happened, because it would also be fruitful for him.
Yeah, so as you check out the great dream house, you realize there's nothing there. He left without trace. Clean vanished. Almost makes it look like he was never even there at all. I mean, obviously he was there. Like the place seems lived in. There's still a lot of his stuff, but as far as giving a reason why he left, got no clue.
Oh, what a dick.
He took your blanco glass.
Yeah, but if you wanted to ask to follow Rune, you could go check out Jorl Blacktusk.
Yeah, I would ask if he would mind if I tagged along.
Oh, no, of course. You're more than welcome. You're a town guard, after all. Who am I to say no to you?
Yeah, we'll see how much that stands for if I get fired.
So the archives. Jorl Blacktusk.
Knock on the
How
door.
can I help you again?
Oh, hello, Mr. Blacktusk. My name is Rune Ravenswood. We briefly met the other day. I was hoping to maybe speak with you about the events today and maybe get your input on this this item that I had found.
And what's that?
Rune will pull out the stone.
All right.
It seems to be just a device of some sort, but I was hoping maybe to get some hints as to who would really...
Let's see if I still got this.
Oh, I'm sure you do, Mr.
Cast
Blacktusk.
prestidigitation on them because he doesn't want to touch them, and he's going to bring them close to him and adjust his glasses by hand because he's old school. And he's just going to look at it for a second. You're summoning bomb. That's all I can say.
Summoning bomb.
Yep.
I've never heard of such a thing, but that's fair.
Yeah.
Oh.
Rather obscure, actually. The only time I've heard of them being used were, well, when was it? It was the halflings, the slaves.
Slaves?
Yeah.
When were there halfling slaves?
You must remember. You're a wise boy. The Bellflower Network. There's always been halfling slaves, but they started whipping these up when they wanted to free them. An easy way to sneak in some extra firepower. Take a place down from within. Ultimate discretion.
Right. Were they the only ones who knew how to make these?
For a time. Tell you what, can I trust you?
But of course.
He's gonna walk up to a book and blow it off. Pull out a tome, and he's gonna slap it down on the dusty counter between the two of you. He's gonna look at Sailix. I'm gonna ask you to step out for this.
Yeah, I'll watch the door. And Sailix would step outside the door. If I hear screaming, I'm coming in here and I'm gonna shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Appreciate your concern, Sailix. Thank you, sir.
What you see here, let's not talk about it, okay?
Talk about what exactly?
The contents. What I'm about to show you.
Huh?
Might paint me like disreputable type. You must understand knowledge is my #1 priority.
All right.
And he's going to crack open this book, and you realize it's a ledger. I have an eye or two on the city, and you see, I happen to be primed for the right information. Let's see, and you'll notice he's looking at a list of tables, and he's thumbing through to try to find something. He says, halflings. And he'll turn the book around to you. It's a log of everybody who has ever been in or out of the city. Looks like for quite a while, too. There you have a list of every known halfling in the city.
Well, how exactly did you get this? If I may ask.
I didn't get it, I made it.
How did you make it?
Well, it's not perfect, but it's not a big town. Just confer with a guard now and then. Not him.
All right.
I mean, is it useful?
Rune will shuffle out some papers. Will shuffle out of and float out of Rune's backpack onto the table as he pulls out some quill and ink. Goes to just noting a few of the names.
Yep.
Which one of these do you not know exactly?
This one's been a tricky son of a bitch. And he'll point. The name is Calmont. Calmont, or you can call him Calmont if you would like. Calmont.
Why so tricksy?
Well, I hear the name. Stories come up in taverns, but he must have come in on unusual circumstances. He wasn't in any logs. Doesn't seem to work anywhere I know of. However, he makes a living here. News to me, but he's been here a few years.
Few years, you say? All right, good to know. Do you happen to know, or does the ledger note where he hangs out, or just that he's here?
Well, I get reports. Let's see. He's going to cross-reference it, pull another tome, whip it out, open it, flip through it for a minute or two. Yeah. Wizard's Grace.
Of course.
Got into a couple of fights there. They wrote his name down. That's how I get him.
All right then. Well, you've answered the one of my questions. The second one I have is what do you know exactly about the founder of Breachill?
Well, you look just like the fucker, but I wanted to save that revelation for later.
Well, it was a bit of a revelation for me yesterday. Do you know where that individual hailed from?
No, but that seems to be the whole story, right?
So
About
I've heard,
50 amnesiacs rolled in, found themselves in the middle of nowhere. No memory, no recollection of how they got here. And all of a sudden comes their savior, a wizard. Like you, but more wizardly. Them in Breachton must have looked exactly like you. I got here a bit after he left. Helped build the city up. You know, they talk about him.
How long ago did he leave?
Oh, it's been more than 100 years.
100 years. Oh.
About 130. You trying to tell me you're older than you look?
Oh, no, not at all. I'm certainly not a 100-year-old wizard. All right. Well then. That'll have to remain a mystery for now. Calmont. Thank you for that information. Is there any other bits of knowledge that we might be able to squirrel away from you this evening?
I'm quite sore.
Yes, of course.
I think I'm going to rest now.
That's fine. I would love to maybe have tea someday. With you, that is.
It would be a plan.
Oh, it would be a plan. All right, that's fair. Thank you, of course.
He's going to shut his books and get back to the original scroll he was working on.
The papers that Rune was writing will again roll themselves up and float into a little scroll case. As he will quietly walk out, leaving Black Tusk to do his thing.
Yep. All right. And what do you tell Sailix about this?
So yeah, upon exiting the building, I presume Sailix is fairly close by.
Yeah, watching the door.
Sailix, do you have a last name by chance?
No.
All right, Mr. No. It's a pleasure to meet you. There's another halfling here that seems to have mysteriously entered the town by the name of Calmont, staying at the Wizard's Grace.
All right.
I believe that is someone we should speak to.
Do you want to go speak to him, just, me and you, or should we grab
I will leave that up to the professional town guard to determine what the best course of action is.
Okay. All right.
If you require my assistance, I will happily help you.
All right. Well, let's go back to the keg and we'll grab Moth because he is utterly terrifying.
Well, that's fair.
All right.
Cadence it is then.
Yes. Cadence Keg. We've got Sailix and Rune. You've returned from Moth. But what about the director and what about Monica?
I had anticipated the director actually going with Sailix and Rune, but since they went along without him, whoops, it's okay. No, it's fine. I'm going to say that the director decided that along the way it was far too cold to be standing outside and waiting for any of this to happen. So he's going to go ahead and have already gone to the Wizard's Gate or Grace, the
Wizard's
other
Grace?
tavern. Yep. He's gonna go there ahead of everybody else.
All right. And Monica?
Monica found a stray cat and is going to cuddle with the stray cat and keep trying to read this book.
Love
But
it.
the cat's just too cute.
Sailix is going to get real close to Monica and be like, all right, if you leave,
Pet the cat's head.
if you leave here, I will have that cat fed to Moth.
You
All right.
monster. Don't worry, kitty. I'm not going to let him do that to you.
All right,
I
the cat's
won't.
canon. You can spend a hero point and you'll own the cat.
Sweet. I don't have a hero point, though.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, you can add a cat to your kitty inventory. So if you're gonna stay put,
I am.
yeah, you guys will go get Moth. The director's already gone. You presume to the Wizard's Grace for prior plans, and as you guys enter the Wizard's Grace again, it's still got a bunch of adventurers, but they're not emboldened like they were 24 hours ago. They're racked with uncertainty and
Nice word.
Before this, because Moth is doing some people watching back at the inn, and so probably when Sailix comes back and he's looking for Moth after talking to Monica, depending on where Monica is.
The inn being Wizard's Grace?
No,
because
the other
you'll
one.
be there.
The one we were at.
Cadence Keg has really nobody in it because it was closed.
Well, where was Monica?
I was at Cadence Keg, in the
You were studying the book, right?
I was studying the book
Yeah,
in our friend's room.
Yeah, Moth
Shabby.
wants to watch her, primarily because he's like, this person is really good at manipulating humanity, so I would like to learn.
Well, I'm sitting cross-legged on the bed with this cat in my lap, I'm petting the cat, and the book is open in front of me, and so I'm reading the book and petting the cat and not even acknowledging that Moth is there because Moth is terrifying.
Yeah, Moth will sneak in. Pachow.
Do I need to do a perception? Nope, I don't even notice that you're there.
Which makes it even more terrifying.
So you're hiding in Caden's keg?
Yeah, because that's where everyone left me, and I want to study Monica, so I, during when...
Well, they were going to look for you.
Yeah, during when Sailix and Rune are out doing their thing.
Yep. So Rune and Sailix, you can make perception checks to see if you see him.
Moth is, like, underneath the bed, listening to Monica.
Yeah, make perception checks to see if you can find him, to pick him up. Actually, just Sailix. I don't think Rune is that invested in it unless he wants to.
No, Rune will help if
Yep.
Sailix can't find him immediately.
Look. So those are opposed checks. Yeah, Moth, you think you hid well, but you didn't. And they might have even led you on to make you think you hid well, but they know where you are.
Well, I'm not hiding from everyone else, just Monica.
All right.
We all know she's not the most perceptive.
Yeah, it's like you kind of open up the door and you see me kind of underneath the bed, like...
Like a moth.
Yeah.
I attribute it to I am so obsessed with this book that nothing else matters.
Pouring into that. It's a good book.
Mm-hmm.
Not an audible yet. Shame. So you can drag him by his ear hand with you to Wizard's Grace if you would like.
Rune just sort of stares at Monica in Shavi's room, reading Shavi's book.
Oh yeah, there's that too.
What?
Yeah, because you know that's Shavi's book, like beyond the shadow of a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not removing the book from Shavi's room. I am reading the book, and I am leaving the book here when I leave. But Shavi's not here to read it.
You know, Monica, didn't we just talk about stop doing sketchy shit?
What's sketchy about borrowing a book?
You're in someone's room.
Well, I didn't
While
want to
they're
remove it from the
unconscious.
room and then have her come home and then be like, where's the book?
You couldn't have just waited until she woke up and asked to borrow it?
Who knows how long that's going to be? She was hurt pretty bad.
That's really the sketchy part right there.
All right, look, enjoy your book. Moth, get out from underneath the bed.
What the?
Okay. Crawl out.
We need your assistance at another inn.
Oh, anything you need. I'm there.
Don't.
So Monica, I
Yes, Rick.
definitely appreciate all the help you offered and directed earlier.
Mhm.
I would ask that you not rifle through a friend of mine's room or things, please.
The only thing I did was borrow this book, and I am leaving the book in the room while I read it. And then when I'm done, I leave the book in the room and I go to my room.
Yeah, so
That's it.
rifling through things involves going into someone's room without them knowing, taking out something of theirs, regardless of whether you leave the room or not, or take the item with you. I'm asking not to rifle through their things.
All right.
Guys. As much as I would love to sit here and argue about why we shouldn't rob people,
It's not robbing, it's borrowing.
we have other things we have to do that are kind of urgent.
The hypocrisy of this conversation. Let's just go. It's irrelevant.
Wow. Moth said something decisive.
Wow.
There was such a sense of urgency that I've not heard in him yet.
So yes, at any rate, please leave her things in her room alone.
Fine.
Thank you.
They're like siblings.
I'm
All right.
still gonna read the book.
So, yeah, so the group is everybody except for Monica heading to the Wizard's Grace. You guys are met with like a warm greeting. I mean, people are pretty impressed with you guys for saving the day in such a hurry and putting out that fire.
Could I have talked them up? Could I have talked them up before they got there?
Yes. Make a performance check for
What do
me.
you say about us?
Our hype man right there.
I know, for real. Oh, where is that? Okay, that's there.
I want to hear it. Like, let me hear you.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, you
Talk
did.
about how awesome we are.
Fantastic job.
All right, guys. Guys.
Let's all go on break and leave Alex to talk about how awesome we are for the next.
My ego needs to be stroked.
So,
Stroke it.
you're really a storyteller,
I
and
am.
when somebody asks you a question and the answer is a little bit of a stretch of the truth, do you stretch the truth, or
Oh
do you
God,
tell
yes.
them that?
Oh no.
Okay, you're talking about everybody, specifically the players, the PCs. It's
Yeah.
not really anyone else involved here. And somebody in the back, they shouts out. He says, "What do you guys call yourselves?"
Ooh.
Oh no,
shit.
no pressure.
Oh God.
Oh shit.
Oh my goodness.
This is it. The director
The
is
director.
on the stage.
Oh man.
Spotlight is on you.
Oh, you're
Buckets. The buckets.
Okay. All right.
live. Buckets.
This will be written in stone. Make
Oh,
it good.
no pressure, guys. Absolutely no pressure for the player here.
You got this, bro.
Oh God. All right. I don't. The director will look out over the sea of people that are anxiously awaiting what he's about to say. Yeah. And say, "We are called the Unforgotten."
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
take it.
Okay.
The
I'm gonna forget it.
Unforgotten.
The
All right.
Unforgotten.
Forgotten. Well, I'll tell you what. Trinnell says, she's the innkeeper.
Oh, she's making us t-shirts.
The second an Unforgotten steps foot in here, drinks are half off.
Ah!
And about a second later, about 3 Unforgottens step into the room, and people stand. Some people start cheering. There's a little bit of a crowd applause, and she'll raise a tankard and says, "To the Unforgotten," and everyone just starts hooraying you guys.
Rune will just clap completely unknowingly.
Who's that?
We're gonna like pat Rune on the back and be like, "No, this is all for you, buddy. Go get yourself
Excuse
a
me?
drink."
Absolutely. This is all for everybody. The Unforgotten. Yes.
Yes, the Unforgotten. Bravo to them.
Walking up to the director, he's like, "What's the Unforgotten?"
It's all of us. You're
Oh.
welcome.
Oh, we
You're
have.
welcome.
It's a thing now.
It's a thing. It's
This-
just go with it.
This is the thing. Oh, okay.
Drinks are half off. You're welcome.
Director, did you just give us a name?
I canonized us.
You
Jeez.
We're a group now.
Toss a freaking
Yeah.
coin. Jeez.
Initiative.
Love it.
Plagiarize IP.
We're about to get thrown down by someone.
All right, well, you guys get settled in. Drinks are flowing, and you guys haven't even had to pay for any yet because people just keep bringing them to you.
And poor Monica is left just to read.
I have all the booze at the Cadence Keg that they told us we were welcome to. I'm fine.
I tell people next to me, if you wish to serve me, you may water me.
Sailix will lean over, freely from your loins.
If I see something, I'm gonna bite it off.
So, do I see any other halflings here, or?
No.
Are there rooms here?
Rooms?
Rooms.
Yeah, there are rooms.
Yeah, I'm gonna go upstairs and start looking in rooms.
Yeah. No halflings. Probably have to ask around.
Yeah, just every door. I'm like,
So Rune will usher the director over to a table.
Yes.
So how subtle can you be, director?
How subtle can I be? That is usually the opposite of what I'm trying to be.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
I mean, how subtle do you need me to be?
We're trying to find someone, and not yelling out their name would probably be ideal.
Oh, which name was that?
A halfling by the name of Calmont.
Ooh. Well, I can certainly not yell out that name. But you should really tell me more about this.
Calmont is a halfling who has mysteriously appeared in town for some time, and seems to just live here, I guess, but we're not quite sure what he does.
Are you sure he looks like a halfling?
Oh, he's a halfling, yes.
No, I didn't say if he was a halfling. Does he look like one?
Oh, no. He was last seen here causing some trouble. So, yeah, there's a good chance he looks like a halfling.
Okay, well, I can certainly listen out and certainly try and feel and get a sense if anybody else has seen him, but offhand, I've never heard of him.
Skills are considerably better than mine, so.
Undoubtedly.
You guys hear in the background, just like in background noise, you hear like, "To the unforgotten!" Wah!
Wah! Wah!
Brune will just sort of nonchalantly raise a hand. Hooray! Yes, of course. Thank you.
You need to work on your people skill. You could really, really ham this up. You could really sell yourself for, a lot more than what you're going for. That's okay.
Yeah. No,
that's okay.
I mean, that's fine. Yes, I probably could, but I have other priorities. Yes. So, Calmont, if you could poke around a bit and see where he was last seen from here,
sure.
That would be helpful to our immediate business.
Sure, Bubs, got it.
Thank you, mate.
Yep.
Who do you ask?
He's going to just kind of work the crowd a little bit. He's just gonna, kind of casually go around, maybe find somebody who is really vibing with him and kind of slip the question into the conversation.
I need you to roll diplomacy to gather information.
Yeah, sounds good.
I think it's something pretty interesting here. In the meantime, Moth, you open a door and you realize that rooms aren't usually empty if you're not like looking to find an empty one. And you're very quickly.
Yeah, I'm like.
Yeah, well, you're upsetting people. Exactly one room into this search. Old lady on the other side of the door stands up from her chair, just shocked immediately to see you open it.
I look at her and I say, Are you like me? Your skin like parchment or bark, stripped from the tree. We are siblings, you and I, both creatures of the earth, and yet you stand in this abomination of a household, stripped from the flesh of my brothers and sisters. Why are you here? Why are you wearing such clothes?
Wide-eye, slowly stepping towards you, nodding, and then when she's about 5 feet away from you, she says, "No," and slams the door back on you.
I go, and like scratch the door.
You forgot how to open doors. Just to be
and then
dramatic.
I move to the next one.
Sailix is coming.
The horror that is him. Like, God. Somewhere there's another like Call of Cthulhu game going. He's the villain. Like.
No, I like to imagine that somewhere there's a Call of Cthulhu and there's like a fantasy character like, I don't think I should be here. I think I switched places with someone.
Exactly.
I have a
director.
sword.
You did fantastic.
Yeah.
And actually, that you're put on the spot, it's a weird coincidence because it's starting to make sense for people. By now, word's gotten around that Rune resembles the old founder, and all the people in this
shit.
town take his disappearance very seriously. And a lot of people think this is like a semi-reincarnation. So while this isn't actually Lamon Breachton, this could be some sort of some avatar of him or some of his essence, like re-manifesting in the city, or maybe whatever created him just created a new one, like magical cloning. One way or another, they think absolutely that has everything to do with the name The Unforgotten, because Lamon Breachton, before disappearing, said two things. He said he would return and not to forget what he taught them. And he taught them how to be self-sustaining, how to be peaceful, and how not to grow too big that you risk corruption. And then the city, more or less, for the last 150 years or so, managed to keep to that promise. And it's because they always remembered him and they idolized Lamon Breachton. He basically became like a cult of personality. And that's what they think The Unforgotten means, is the legacy that he left is what you guys represent. So they think that everything in the town's interest has to do with you guys and this destined return.
I wrote it. Of
Yeah,
course.
I think you unintentionally wrote something pretty masterful here, and people are taking it super seriously. But nothing about Calmont.
Okay.
How about you, Sailix? What are you up to?
Oh, I'm following up the stairs after Moth to make sure he doesn't eat anybody.
Yeah, so you hear a door open, some talking, a door slam, another door open, some talking, door slam. By the time you get up there, he opens a door, and behind it looks to be exactly what you're looking for. But before I get to that, Rune, what were you up to?
Well, Rune is more or less keeping to himself and grows ever more nervous as if he starts to hear anything about his likeness to Founder. But yeah, if that particular bit of rumor mill gets too large, he will step out of the inn for a bit and enjoy the night air with his bird.
Yeah,
Not leave the inn per se, but definitely stand outside.
People are definitely whispering about you.
Yeah, he will uncomfortably, but try to be quietly, so to speak, attempt to exit the building and wait outside for his compatriots.
Very well. Yeah, so when you open this door, you find the empty one, Moth. And Sailix, you notice that he looks like he's just opening every door he sees. So you can apprehend him if you'd like, but not before this final door opens to the one vacant room. Moth, you see something that you might have recognized from before. It looks like an empty room, a couple of strange inscriptions, and then these weird rocky. The only thing you can compare it to is like a giant acorn, essentially.
I'll stealthily go in.
All right, and Sailix probably see this because he was not stealthy before he opened the door.
Yeah, I'm stealthy
now
for
you
the
see him
people
like
in the room. If there is.
Gotta get low.
Yeah, you see him kind of like bend back and on all fours kind of like slither in. And then the door closed.
I hate that.
So Sailix is going to he's gonna draw his sword and go in that.
This is what happens when you play Pathfinder and you make someone a public servant. It just doesn't work. Not with the. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, you're gonna come in. It's much clearer to you because you have a broader understanding of what you see. It's these rock containers with inscriptions on it, and then a couple of notes about summoning. Just really creepy looking stuff.
Do they look like the same one that Rune had?
Certainly does. Yeah, but these
And
seem really light, really hollow.
the room's empty besides for Moth in here, right?
Yeah, but go ahead and search it. Make a perception check.
All right. Nope.
Oof.
Coming out of that room, you see. Let me pull that character up again from one of the old doors. What are you doing in there? Older lady says. She also looks Olfin, maybe just Chellish.
Would Sailix recognize her at all?
No, she's another newcomer, adventurer.
Sailix would look at her like, what does it matter? This room is vacant.
No, it's not. My friend Calmont was in there.
Oh, was he now? And where is Calmont now?
Oh, I don't know. He left early. Left for the day. Most of us don't just sit around the tavern. I mean, I imagine he'll be back soon.
Good. All right. Well, when Calmont gets in, tell him...
Moth, you can also make a perception check to search the place. You slithering around.
Well, I'll be waiting for him. Downstairs.
Moth, you find a note.
Mm-hmm. I flip it open and read it.
I've sent you what it says. You can tell whoever you would like.
Oh, where'd you send it to me?
Anyway, okay, so the note says, it's just written, it's not signed, it says, do it at noon. Then head to the Citadel.
Moth will get up, crack his bones, and walk out upon, like, I assume he can hear Sailix and the woman talking.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll walk out and move towards this older woman and hand Sailix the note. As he looks at her, he will say, 2 acorns in the room, blossoming like little flowers upon the dead, engulfing them in flames, and you allowed this to happen.
Disturbed, she's just going to look at the letter and says, I don't know the man or the boy. Truly,
your friend.
I came for the call of heroes. He drank with me.
Friends aren't made over one tankard of ale.
Well, this place begs to differ. I mean, I'll show you everything I have, but I swear I only met him 2 nights ago.
Felix is going to start heading down the stairs. As he's leaving, he's like, Moth, she doesn't leave that room, and nobody goes in that other room. I'll be right back.
All right, Moth will look at her.
And Sailix, you do know that she'll tell you before you leave. She entered through the East Gate. East Gate is watched by your brother. Your brother's pretty meticulous. He keeps a log of everybody who comes to the East Gate.
All right.
Also, that might answer your question a little bit, Rune. So if you want to check, make sure she's actually a newcomer. Might exonerate her.
Right. Walking downstairs, I would tell the director to go upstairs and stand with Moth while I go grab Rune from outside.
But he's really creepy.
Yeah, well.
All right.
Yeah, and I'm gonna intimidate her to get back into her room, and I'll
Yeah,
follow
no,
her
she's
in.
terrified. She thinks she's being tied to something, and now that she's thinking about the note and how it says at noon, she's thinking, she's actually quite worried that she's going to be charged for the fire at the town hall. But yeah, Sailix, Rune, you're standing outside, Wizard's Grace. It's bitter cold, but
Yeah, stepping outside. Hey, Rune, I'm gonna need you to come upstairs. We found his room. And
Calvin's room.
yeah, you're gonna want to see what's inside.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Lead the way.
So he would lead them right back upstairs, like explain the situation that's going on, like, as they're going upstairs, like there was a note saying to do it at noon and then to go to the Citadel, but we found what looks to be 2 more of what you have on you already.
2 more rocks?
Yeah, rocks.
Oh. Oh.
Well, isn't that interesting? All right. 2 plus the one I have. Did you say there was a note?
Yeah, Moth should give him the note.
Thank you, Moth.
Take the note.
You change voices often.
Yeah, it's kind of just really figuring out what best makes y'all comfy. Kind of like he's still like on the ground. His mouth is like really close to the grandma's
You have a
head.
large range. You're very versatile.
It's
Lots
hard finding out just exactly what keeps y'all from a shaking.
Well, we can go over that later if you're so inclined.
My vocal cords are kind of wet. A little moist there.
You'd be really hard to cast. You know that, right? Get like 7 people under just one terrible
that's
looking
something I
thing.
haven't thought about. You're someone who puts people up on plays in the woods of my dead friends.
Yeah, well.
You know what? I'm not going to worry about it right now. Rune will go ahead and enter the room and start kind of poking around a bit.
yeah, it really just looks like the kind of like a hitman's motel. It's just like a couple of incriminating conjuration bombs here, that one note that was found, and nothing else. Like he checked in for a place to stay. Like an alias or something. It's like weirdly, it's weird how little is here.
Did you say he was going to be back? He's going to. The director will ask the woman that he was staying with. You said he was going to be back.
I mean, he told me he booked 4 nights. I don't know. I mean, it might not be true. If you say that he was involved in this, probably not.
Yeah. He's going to look to Sailix.
Where's the Citadel?
Beyond the East Gate.
Let's go. And I'll pull out a cigarette.
Where do you get those from? Yeah, so he would walk up to is the old woman in her room yet? Or is she like, did Moth?
Yeah, she's been in her room the whole time. She's afraid to leave. So you guys have been questioning her from within.
Mothman.
She says, look, I checked the East Gate. I filled out the papers. I'm new here. I don't know anything about this.
Don't worry, I'll be checking the East Gate. Don't leave the city.
Hello, ma'am. What's your name?
My name's Inelda.
Inelda. It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Rune. You say you met this gentleman? Pointing to the empty room.
Yeah, he was drinking downstairs. I mean, just about all day. He seemed worried, so I bought him some food, but I mean, mostly he kept to himself.
He seemed worried, you said?
Yeah, he just seemed like a nervous halfling. Kind of a wreck, actually.
Oh, interesting. You said you befriended him?
Yeah, well, I guess I was the only other person lonely enough to stay in here all day.
Ah, I see. Did you two talk?
Yeah, but he wouldn't talk about anything.
What'd you ask him?
Well, I asked him about the town. He seemed quite knowledgeable. He said he was a newcomer, but it didn't sound like it. Told me about Call for Heroes, but I already knew. God, he even told me to go. If he did this, then...
Did you tell other people to go? Did you see him talking to anyone else?
No, he kept to himself.
To himself, I see. And when everyone was going to the town hall, did you see him go there as well?
No, he went up to his room.
No. Fair enough. Interesting. All right. And
Just...
oh god, things fall.
I'm just gonna hand this piece of paper to
So...
Arnalda.
What's the plan then? We can verify.
The plan is...
Head out to the Citadel.
I think we should head to the Citadel. I can smell.
Yeah.
Why do you want to go to the Citadel?
Inelda, if by chance we happen to leave and then he comes back, do your civil duty and try to keep him here as long as possible.
Of course.
Do you know what will happen if you fail Sailix?
Are you saying that from underneath the bed?
Yep.
Who's Sailix?
That's me.
The fleshed one over there.
I hope we all have the flesh.
Look, you can hold me in the cell until this is all sorted out. I don't care. I'm
I'd
scared
rather
now.
you run free here in the city.
Yes. Okay. So.
Oh, right. Well, that's enough.
Yeah. Inelda, if you could simply be the hero that you wanted to be, stay here. If you see this gentleman appear again, do your best to watch him. Don't engage him. If you see him leaving, make as close a note of where he goes as you can. You came here to be a hero. Now's the time where you get a chance to do that. Make sense?
Yes.
Excellent. You've done a fine job.
All right. Well, where are you guys headed now?
Yeah, on the way out, I'll shake her hand. You have a good day here. And head to Citadel.
Hate that. All right. So you guys make it up Main Street, and then you break off a little bit to head up to the East Gate because it is pretty much on the northern corner of Breachill.
For what it's worth, the entire walk, Rune will attempt to convince Moth that pretty much everything he says is creepy and makes people uncomfortable.
Well, you and your kin, the flesh ones, are horrific to me.
Well, that's fair. I completely understand that.
Will
My
you
point
change your ways?
You're the one who wants to learn how to communicate with us. Was I incorrect in understanding that?
It is. It just makes me angry. I feel like you should also change your ways.
Oh, okay. Well, how should we change our ways then?
Paper. You should never use paper. These
Never
books,
use-
they are my kin. You stand and sit and sleep in the corpses of my brothers and sisters. It is disgusting.
You know, you guys can sure converse a lot for a bunch of people that are running.
Do you not
So,
breathe?
You guys arrive at the gate after much useless back and forth with Moth.
We were
Lawful
drinking.
What? He is just more confusing the closer you look at him. But these gates, they have a little walkway on top, but they're not very formidable gates because it's more to just keep out the wildlife and protect against weather and not so much about invasion. I mean, this isn't really the city that would need fortifications like that. But on top, Sailix, it's your brother, Wilfred Lavendale. You can see the burns are starting to really solidify on his face. Definite noticeable scars on his right arm and the right side of his face. And he says, "Are you going to believe me now? Farmers are on this side."
I'm not going to believe you.
Oh, really?
I need to check your ledgers.
He's gonna throw down the book because it's bound.
He'll look for Inelda's name real quick.
Yep. It is a go.
Does it all matches up and everything?
Yep.
He'll throw it back up to him and be like,
Oh, wait, can I see that, please?
oh.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
No, your accusations are still way off base, and we actually have a credible lead now. And hopefully, if you get time to hop off the top of your wall, you can walk over to the inn where Miss Inelda's staying at, and check the room 2 doors down from hers. And you will find another halfling's room full of this incriminating stuff.
Contraband.
There you go.
While Sailix is berating his brother, Rune will look through the ledger to see if there's any other hints of other halflings that match up with the list that Black Tusk had.
More or less, it looks exact, just for everyone that's in this gate. Black Tusk had more than this ledger, but this ledger doesn't have more than Black Tusk had. It looks like.
Got it. Does this ledger have Calmont?
Doesn't.
Doesn't. All right.
Are there any other halflings?
Yeah, a few, but there are halflings in the city.
Okay.
Wolford's gonna say, the farmers that I was telling you about, and I'll check on the room. Okay, I don't think she did it anymore, but the farmers say he was headed out this way. There's not really much in this direction except, of course, the Citadel.
You mean they saw somebody leave after the fire at Town Hall?
As soon as we can prove it wasn't her, it's going to make people a lot easier.
You said there's not much out this way but the Citadel?
That's correct.
Wait.
She's going to look up at the sun. I'm not sure how much daylight we have left. Be quick.
Just to clarify, Warble was at the Citadel, is that correct?
Yeah.
She
headed out. Said she couldn't find you. She wanted to, I guess.
Yes.
Teach us some things.
Of course. Sailix, I really think we need to go to the Citadel.
Wait.
That's why we're headed over here, right?
Ah, shit. I don't like the timing of this, guys. If Warball's headed out there, she could be in danger.
She is.
Well, that's really my point, you see. We really should go get others and
Rune, you've got a horse, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
Ooh, I'd like to ride.
We'll call it from the stables. And, brother, you can take mine. Knowing that you have your own horse, that means you guys have 2 now at your disposal.
Sailix, I can send Corvus if you like.
Send Corvus to go get Monica, because if we're going to need people, I would rather her be with me. That way I can attest to her being out of trouble.
Could you
You, sir,
deputize
are a
me?
brilliant soldier and a wonderful tactician. Excellent. Corvus, if you wouldn't mind going to fetch Monica, Corvus will just sort of hop on the staff for a moment and nod and take off.
All right, and the director, you can borrow Sailix's horse if you would like.
Bar Salix's brother.
Whoa.
Wow.
No.
I mean, he used to be the most handsome elf.
I don't
most
have to look at the
handsome
full
available.
face. I've got I can do that. Yeah, no. Half elf, get it? Ha! No. Wow.
Ha ha ha.
No. He will Salix get on the other horse that was
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Horse.
Yeah.
Really
He'll
nice
look
horse.
over
Probably
at
best in
Moth. Moth.
Yes.
Are you I'm not a kid, but okay. Are you able to keep up? Do you need to who needs to be on the horse? I don't have legs.
And hold you tight and I will not fall off.
On Sailix, I'm going to be riding with you. Let me up. Like a
Put me
cat.
in a
Let me
saddlebag. It's fine.
Yes, don't care. Don't leave me with him.
All right. So you're all on horseback.
Who am I holding on to?
But I want to stress
Yourself.
Wilford really stressed the timing here. Things aren't looking great. Like, Warball came to find you at Caden's Keg, but you guys were already at Wizard's Grave. So she headed out in that direction because she was in desperate panic, according to him. She is really worried about her fellow Bumblebrasher goblins in the Citadel. So she tried to just take matters in her own hands, whether or not that was like the best decision to make. But while she's being stupid, she might also be dead. So you guys are racing to go save her. And it's maybe an hour of a vigorous ride before you guys all get there.
We're as vigorous as
Moth.
we can
Moth
be.
gets to ride with Bruin, it looks like.
Yeah, and Monica,
So vigorous.
Corvus, do you respond to that?
Reluctantly, but yeah. I put the book down and I pet the cat and I close the cat in my room, and then I'm like, okay, well.
Hello, Skulldugger. How are you?
Hi, Corvus. Hey, I don't know how to get to that gate from here, so
Oh, that's
you're
fine.
gonna have
I'll
to
ride your
guide
head.
me. Great.
Do you have a horse?
No.
Well, that's problematic. You're slow.
Yes. Well,
Get a horse.
Well,
Well-
Skulldugger yourself a horse.
That's not a horse.
that's called stealing, and that's not something I do. So
So borrow it temporarily then.
You want to go and get you want to go check out a stables, maybe?
sure,
Art
I will
company?
go to the nearest stables and be like, I can give you a couple of gold if I can borrow a horse for a couple of hours, or a pony, or
Young
something.
man just glares at you. Says, "You, a horse?
I-
You understand how big a horse is?"
This is a member of the Unforgotten. You should give her a horse.
Thanks, Corvus. I don't
did
know
hear
what
about you.
okay,
He
sure.
whistles. And a bizarre purple-skinned mastiff jumps in with a saddle. He says, "This looks to be a little more your size. Can't get the bitch to stop drooling."
I'm so happy.
Look, I promise to take. Yeah, don't. I promise to take care of her. If you feed her, she's yours.
That's
Awesome.
an impressively large dog.
Thank you so much. Does the dog have a name?
I never bothered.
Beelzebub.
Drooly, maybe? It's very... There's a lot of saliva coming out of that mouth.
All right, look, I'm embarrassed
I'm
to
getting-
say I named her Spit. I was young.
Bit. That's quite appropriate, yeah?
You know what? Spit is a good name. I will take Spit and
I
I
don't know
will thank
about
you later.
a
So
good name
I
per
hop
se,
on
but
the
it's
thing.
appropriate,
Come on,
yeah.
Corvus, let's go. I'm just
Oh,
talking over Corvus.
Shit.
And you can tell me about what the Unforgotten is.
This is a large dog and I'm bouncing.
Let's see.
And
So
like-
now,
I'm trying to ride this giant dog through the city. I have a dog, a cat, and a bird. This is
Oh my God.
awesome.
you didn't bring the cat.
Imagine strands
I
of
left-
spit just
I left
wafting
the
over
cat
all
at
of
the
us.
house.
Yeah, you can't hide your tracks in this with this guy. This is just not possible. People would be like,
sorry.
"Was there a slug coming through the city?" I don't understand. Lime trail. So,
Oh my god.
where's my opener? All right, you guys can see that one that popped up. About an hour, and we've reached that exact time of day. The Citadel is unmistakable. You know it. You could see it from a fair distance, about halfway there. And as you're approaching it, you do see these fires, and they look stable. It's not, and because, I mean, you've also just seen what a fire looks like when it's out of control. This sort of looks like it's in control. maybe, but you don't know what it is. So it sort of does look like a distress call. You can see why Warball was concerned about it enough to call for help without immediately rushing in herself. But now this time she's in a panic, so it appears she has. And as you guys arrive, Monica managed to catch up on a riding dog that made significant progress in covering terrain, especially considering how fast you guys were going on horseback. But as you guys all arrive, if you notice on this map, you zoom in, you've got a winding path, and it's about golden hour. It's looking pretty aesthetic, but the feeling here is pretty dreadful because you're looking for somebody who might be in danger or worse. And as you start heading up these stone stairs, is there anything you guys want to do before you head in? There's like
arm myself.
Upon Corvus's arrival, he'll immediately fly back over to Rune and just sort of rest on the staff and look up to Rune. Master, I have a request. Never ask me to ride a dog. I hate them. They're messy and spitty and disgusting. I'm dirty. Send me away so I can clean up, please. Please. I feel so nasty right now.
I sent a picture to the group of what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, it's a weird
Sans
looking
shield.
thing, man. It looks like a weird lizard dog. But it's definitely a dog, just weirdly colored.
I don't like dogs.
Sort of like hunting
like them.
dogs, how like people would like breed hunting dogs and then get rid of them. These are sort of like alchemists' guinea pigs, where they just like test stuff on random animals, and then if it has like no effect or it's super weird, they just get rid of it. And they're like, yeah, I don't like this. It's kind of a rescue. But so you guys are
And I loves him.
heading up the stairs.
Have we had a chance to heal yet from the previous fight? Like, we haven't had like a lot of time. No, we are.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys
Mitchell.
have healing resources, use them.
Moth is like,
Yeah, I'm a little okay.
Oh yeah, what do you guys?
The director is slow to go in. I'm gonna let you guys take this. You guys are gonna be fine. I'll watch from out here.
my form drifts off into the sunset. It will not take
You guys
another
have healing
beating."
spells?
What's that?
I think Moth does.
No, I don't.
Okay, never
No, I
mind.
think we have about
My-
one character has healing spells.
Not right now.
I have
I'm pretty
Harv.
convinced Mitchell never plays a healing class as a healing class.
Exactly.
Yeah, just because it's too vanilla.
Yeah, my healing
Yes.
does the opposite. When I touch people, it rips the flesh.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, but part of this is just like a rescue mission, right? I mean, you're not taking on the whole Citadel. You're just trying to make sure Warball doesn't become a martyr for no reason. I
Well,
mean,
if the
resources
GM
are here.
says it's okay, let's go in.
And as you guys are
Okay.
coming up on the steps here, it's been a sense of emergency. It's tension. I mean, it's as if like a kid went missing. Like you're just like, let's just focus on this, guys. There's no really other priorities here, especially because this person begged you to help. It'd be a shame if the Unforgotten build a reputation like this. It's not on brand for the Unforgotten.
Not on brand. Not on brand.
Because now you guys have a brand. So you guys, you're making your way over steps, and all of a sudden you hear her. Warball, she says, "Oh no, help, help!" And that's where I'm going to end it off for tonight.
Okay. Okay.
I need a hero.
So you guys are on the front steps before this sort of courtyard opening, if you can see it in the map. Lights coming in. It's not a covered place. We're going to keep your health as it is. Play defensively.
No.
Okay. What is
Yes,
this a
and
cathedral of, by the way? I'm sorry.
It's
It
a
is
citadel.
a citadel.
Citadel, sorry.
Yeah, it's an old. You will know it because that's what you researched this place before you headed here. It's actually a Hell Knight Citadel.
Yeah, it would be really helpful if one of you guys could go down.
Die?
Yeah, then I could get health, but
Okay.
gotta...
Watch it be you.
I know, right? Can I reap myself?
Can I? Yeah. Can I reap? That's
Weep
man.
yourself.
Yeah, weep
I
myself.
weep for you.
Yeah. All right,
so-
everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Oh god. Thanks everyone for coming and engaging with us on the chat. This is Penny for a Tale. You can check us out at pennyforatale.com. We have a Facebook, a Twitch, Twitter, an Instagram. We might have a TikTok. But nonetheless, you can find all of our stuff at pennyforatale.com. Tomorrow we are playing Age Pass, which is going to be amazing. So they will be exploring the ruins and caverns deep under the earth and learning about some more mysteries. Furthermore, if you like two hot guys making out, Tuesday, right?
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday you can see two hot guys. It won't be us, but you will see two hot guys making out. Spence, why don't you tell them a little bit? Yeah,
All
you
right.
got this.
All right, so Hot Guys Making Out is a tabletop role-playing game set in 1930s Spain during the middle of a civil war. It follows the story of Gonzalo, one of the hundreds of thousands of war orphans who has been whisked away in the dead of night to this mansion where a devastatingly gorgeous man named Honore has sworn to protect Gonzalo. But what will become of them as an unlikely romance develops? You'll get to find out on Tuesday.
This is my origin story.
I'm pretty sure that happened to me on a Saturday night at a club once.
It is one of my favorite games to play, and so I am so excited to run this game. And it's just in time for Valentine's Day, because we all need a little love story for Valentine's Day.
We do. Get yourself some of that. All right, Daniel, why don't you give us a little send-off, as well as everyone else. We'll go Daniel first, though.
Thanks for watching the stream. I've been having a great time. I'm sorry, I have tired brain right now. I did want to plug something, but I forgot. So next time I got you guys.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh, TikTok, right. I'll be making the TikTok soon and getting videos together. So
we can
Yes.
do extra silliness.
Yes.
Alex, what do you have to say for yourself?
I'm Alex. This is a really fun game. Thank you, Ian. Thank you so much. Hopefully I'll be starting my Star Wars game at the end of the month, and I look forward to coming back. Yeah.
Midichlorians for win.
Midichlorian.
And Mr. Smith, what you got for us?
Oh, I am Mr. Smith. Ian, thank you so very much. The game is amazing. Hopefully we'll get to save everyone, and maybe Moth will stop creeping everybody out. The Only Sheet, definitely want to thank you, and of course Fantasy Grounds, big thanks.
All right, Ian, and the best send-off you can. 10 out of 10 stars.
Literally, I am Ian. I am your GM, and I also play Colt every other Monday. But mostly this is my passion project. So definitely tune in every Sunday, because we're always just going to be building off of, like, this is not one shots. This isn't a mod. Like, this is level 1, it's level 20. And I think it's going to be super exciting. All on Fantasy Grounds. Shout out to Smiteworks for sponsoring us. Totally check it out, fantasygrounds.com. Also, another shout out to The Only Sheet again, because we've been using them and they have been awesome.
Yeah.
They've
Definitely.
been awesomely in chat too.
Oh yeah, and I'm really interested to see what Moth looks like at level 20. So if we can get there, that'd be great.
I don't know if I am.
I'm losing sleep about that.
To my fellow players, however, everyone have a wonderful Valentine's Day. If I don't get a chance to chat with you,
Yeah, everyone.
You are all my Valentines.
I'm
enjoy
gonna
your
die
loved
cold
ones.
alone.
Yeah, I think.
if you plan on spending it alone, know that I will think of you, and you will be my Valentine's that day.
Oh,
Think of me? Think of me how?
Fondly. When we
your
say goodbye.
warm, snuggling hugs.
Alex, you can come and spend Valentine's Day with me.
Oh, baby boy, I'm there.
And
Make
we
our
will not
TikToks.
Yeah,
all the
little
servers.
Mitch is in it too. So
No,
whoever
no, he is not.
alone.
He is not invited.
Yeah, sadly his ear came off, so I don't know if like
He's
people.
just disintegrating. He is horrifying.
Yeah, my son tried to kill him.
It'll grow
so-
another one.
He'll
Yeah,
grow another
Your
he's
son's
fine.
doing the Lord's work.
Yeah, he has to go get one. So yeah, once again, thank you everyone who showed up. Have a wonderful Valentine's Day and a even better week. Bye.